This is the other world, a mystical realm that exists as a bridge between the human world and the spirit world. Before a colossal spirit tree, the elder spirit stands with a man named Eizen and a group of young children. "This is it," she announces. She gestures to the massive tree. "The spirit trees will grow no further than this one, and sometimes it needs a little bit of trimming. I'll leave this to you then." Aizen accepts with a confident smile. "Of course, you can count on me, elder spirit." He then raises his hand, beginning an incantation. "O mighty winds of the other world, let me borrow your power through my words." A swirling band of pure energy wraps around his arm as he commands it. "Turn them into my blade." In an instant, the blade of wind flies out, creating a perfect arc aimed at the tree's trunk. It slices cleanly through the ancient wood. As the top half of the great tree begins to groan and tilt, the children watch from below, their faces filled with awe. The massive treetop plummets towards the ground. It crashes into a nearby body of water, and the children erupt in cheers. The impact sends a colossal splash into the air. One of the boys shouts, "Sensei, that was awesome." Aizen turns to his young students, a warm smile on his face. "You all are children of the spirits, so you'll get a hold of this power sooner or later." He offers them a piece of wisdom, but before you can cast the strongest spell, take your time to contemplate what effect it may bring first. In unison they reply, "Yes, Aizen-sensei." Later the elder spirit thanks him. "Thank you for always guiding the children." Aizen simply waves it off. "It's just compensation for letting me stay here. This is no big deal, so call me whenever you need my help again." With his work done for the day, Aizen Atisu, the prophet, heads back to the cottage he has called home for the last 20 years. He walks up the path to his front door. He opens the door announcing his return. "I'm home, Rin." A young elf-like girl, startled from her sweeping, turns to face him. Her face lights up with a bright, welcoming smile. "Welcome back, Aizen-sensei. This is Rin Rudestand, his apprentice from a long-lived race." She holds up a letter. "Someone sent you mail again." Aizen looks at her, his expression turning serious. "Rin, there is something I need to tell you." He makes a sudden, shocking declaration. "I'm going to go on a journey around the world." Rin is left completely stunned. This marks the beginning of a new adventure for the prophet and his apprentice. Inside, Rin follows him down the hallway, trying to process the news. "What happened, Aizen-sensei?" she asks. "Why did you decide to go so suddenly?" Aizen begins to explain. "It's been 20 years since the demon blade fell ill. And since I was summoned to this world to help, he's gotten much better now, not to mention." He pauses at a doorway, a grin spreading across his face. "Hold on, come in and you'll see." He opens the door to his study, revealing a coffee table completely buried under a mountain of letters. Rin stares at the sheer volume of mail. "Oh my," she gasps, "these piles of letters, you've been reading through them all." Aizen simply replies, "Yep." He elaborates, "These are all the mails that the other apprentices sent me. It took me a while to bring them all out. Even now, every single one of them still sends me a letter each month to report their situation." Rin recalls, "I remember you asking me to read them once." Aizen smiles warmly, "And they were all good news." With a gentle smile of her own, she asks, "May I read them again?" Rin settles onto the couch and begins to read, surrounded by the correspondence of Aizen's past. Most of Aizen's former apprentices have grown up to become legends in their own right, famously known as the 100 Geniuses. They've become sages, overlords, supreme generals, headmasters of advanced magic academies, and even rulers of entire empires. But as Rin reads, she realizes that inside these letters from world-shaking figures are the words of children, joyfully showing their sensei their achievements and waiting for his praise. They share stories of the lands, cities, and inventions they've created, all while recommending destinations for their master to one day visit. Aizen reflects on their true intentions, "So they want to show me the beauty of this world, right?" His eyes light up with a new resolve. "That's why, I want to go on a trip to the human world and see what it's like." He considers the problem. "The thing is, those guys live in all kinds of luxurious households now. If I let them know about my trip, they'll run around making a huge fuss about it. I just end up bothering them." He lays out his strategy. "So I've decided I'll travel on my own and explore new things. If I ever get the chance to meet them, a single greeting is enough." Rin's eyes sparkle as she puts it all together. "I see, so you're planning to go incognito, am I right?" Aizen confirms with a simple, "Yes." Rin picks up a letter, her excitement growing. "Sensei," she exclaims, "to put it simply, you want to return to the human world, am I right?" He nods, "Yeah." A confident smirk plays on his lips. "After all, I did have the experience of recovering myself 20 years ago." With his decision made, Aizen raises his hand. He begins to cast a spell, his voice echoing with power. "Oh, letters lying in this room, mark my words." Rin watches, her breath catching in her throat. Aizen continues the incantation. "For my journey ahead, please guide me to the most suitable path." At his command, the hundreds of letters on the table begin to glow and lift into the air. The envelopes swirl around the room in a magical vortex, and Rin looks on in absolute awe. "The prophet's magic," she whispers. Using his understanding of magic words, he holds the power to control every being in this world. As the letters dance around him like a storm of paper, Eizen explains the spell's purpose. "The letter that gets chosen right here," he declares, "will show me the recommended destination that I will *go." A single envelope gently floats down into his outstretched hand. "At this moment my journey around the world begins," he says, turning to his apprentice. "Rin, you are free to go wherever you want," but Rin's mind is already made up. "All right, then I want to come too, please take me with you, Aizen-sensei." Outside a rustic home, a man named Eizen calls out impatiently, "Rin, what's taking you so long?" From inside, the sound of frantic shuffling is followed by Rin's voice. "I'm almost done, please hang on." Suddenly the door bursts open and Rin dashes out. She strikes a pose with a brilliant smile. "Tada, sorry for making you wait." Rin's eyes light up when she sees her master dressed in his old adventuring gear. "Aizen-sensei, you're wearing your old outfit again." Eizen grins back. "Rin, I guess you're ready for your adventure then." As they walk away from the house they've called home, the journey officially begins. Eizen turns to his companion with a serious question. "Do you really want to accompany me, Rin? I told you that you don't have to assist me as an apprentice anymore." But Rin just smiles brightly, dismissing his concern. "This isn't about being your apprentice or anything like that." She explains earnestly, "I just want to take care of your daily needs just like I always do. You said I can do whatever I want. So you're okay with this, right?" Aizen's resolve melts into a warm smile. "Of course, it would be less troublesome for me if you're coming along, so I'm not against it." Rin's face absolutely lights up with joy. Walking side by side, Rin puffs her chest out. "Is that so? As expected of Rin," Eizen adds, "to be honest, I've been preparing for this day for a long time." They stop in a wide-open field. "All right," Eizen announces, "I'm going to summon the Gate of Light now." He plants his staff into the ground, and a powerful aura begins to emanate from him. In a blinding flash, a colossal, ornate gate materializes out of thin air. The two adventurers stand before the towering structure, dwarfed by its sheer scale. The gate hums, glowing with an otherworldly energy. Rin looks at the portal, a wave of nostalgia washing over her. "It's been 20 years since our last trip to the outside world," Eizen replies. "Yeah, actually." He grins, a spark of adventure in his eyes. "I'm getting a lot more excited than I thought I would." But just as they're about to proceed, a figure begins to coalesce from the gate's light. An ethereal woman with long, flowing hair appears before them. "It's the Elder Spirit. So it really is you guys," she says with a gentle smile. "Eizen, you're really planning to leave, aren't you?" Eizen recognizes her instantly. "Elder Spirit." Rin bows gratefully. "Thank you for taking care of us all this time." Eizen explains his departure. "My apprentices have been trying to contact me several times, so I guess it's time for me to go." The Elder Spirit reminisces fondly. "This reminds me of your first time arriving in this world. I really appreciate you letting me stay here to recover from my injuries." Eizen observes, "You haven't changed at all in 20 years. He looks up at the sky, contemplating. "Maybe it's because of this world's strange time flow that my body's aging has slowed. I guess that explains why my appearance didn't change." He bows his head respectfully. "Thank you for everything, Elder Spirit." She shakes her head. "There's no need to thank me. Besides, the Demon Blade event was also my responsibility." She glances behind her. "And you have been taking good care of my children." A group of young spirits rushes forward, their faces full of adoration. "Sensei, thank you for everything you've taught us." Eizen is pleasantly surprised. "You're all here." The Elder Spirit makes a promise. "If you ever need anything related to this world, you can always reach out to me, and these little spirits you taught, they will definitely be stronger the next time you see them." Eizen extends his hand. "Of course." The Elder Spirit meets his gaze. "When the time comes, I will surely see you again." They shake hands, sealing their promise. The spirit children wave frantically. "Goodbye, Sensei, goodbye, Rin-san." Eizen and Rin wave back as they stand before the gate's brilliant light. "Take care, everyone. All right, see you next time." As they turn to face their new journey, Eizen grins at Rin. "We're keeping this trip a secret from my other apprentices, so let's travel around the world together." Rin's eyes sparkle with excitement. "Yes, Aizen-sensei." Together they face the portal. And with a final flash they step through. Meanwhile, far away in the center of Riga City, a powerful ruler named Duke Daario slams his fist down in triumph. Finally. In a vast chamber, robed mages conclude a long and exhausting ritual. Duke Daario addresses them, his voice echoing with excitement. "After all these years, the prophecy has finally come to pass. Everyone, we have the result we expected." His followers look on in exhausted relief. "Really?" Daario nods. "Yes, you may all rest now." As he walks away, his mind races. "All the resources I poured into these monthly rituals finally paid off. Even with all this, I'm nowhere near master's level, but..." His determination surges. A fierce grin spreads across his face. he's finally back. This is Duke Daario, one of Eizen's former apprentices and the current ruler of this kingdom. He issues a command to his royal guard, order every guard in the city, search for a man who calls himself the prophet at once. He knows it must be him. A prophet this powerful, there's no one else but him. Years ago, Eizen's guidance set Daario on his path, and he attributes all of his success to his master. His eyes burn with an almost fanatical loyalty. Sensei, I will do everything I can to find you, and then you will finally earn the fortune you deserve. Among all of Eizen's students, Daario's worship is by far the most intense. Completely unaware of the kingdom-wide search about to begin, Eizen and Rin step out of the gate of light into a new world, the portal vanishing behind them. They gaze out at the landscape, a town nestled in the distance. Eizen shields his eyes, a nostalgic smile on his face. Oh, this brings back memories. Over there is the city of pioneers, if I remember correctly. Rin nods happily. That's right, people say that it was here a long time ago. Eizen adds, and I heard they've changed a lot of things, that life is more comfortable now. He continues, they mentioned that in the letters they sent me, which is how I know a bit about this world. I guess you know it too, huh, Rin? Rin taps her temple confidently. That's right, our race possesses a remarkably good memory. She puffs her chest out with pride. I memorized all of the letters you gave me, so if you need any information for your trip, leave it to me. Eizen smiles warmly. Thank you, Rin. As they walk, Eizen takes in the managed landscape. I already knew these forests and meadows were being tended to, but seeing it in person is entirely different from reading about it on paper. He sets their course. First of all, let's head over to the city. There are some places I want to visit, he says. Rin replies excitedly, all right. But she suddenly stops, her attention caught by something. Oh, Aizen-sensei. She points with a look of alarm at his staff. The book at the top of your staff, why is it glowing? Eizen glances down at the artifact, a calm smirk on his face. Oh this, I guess it sensed my sealed power. Rin's eyes widen in utter shock. Sealed power. As Eizen and his apprentice Rin travel, the magical book on his staff begins to glow with an intense light, catching Rin by surprise. The light pulses, guiding them toward the entrance of a dense forest. Eizen confirms his suspicion. It's reacting. That means we're headed in the right direction. As they venture deeper into the woods, Eizen begins to recount a story from his past. 20 years ago, he explains, I won the battle against the sword demon, but in turn, I got beaten black and blue and lost the ability to control my powers. He pauses for a moment, a look of determination on his face. Therefore, they arrive in a clearing, standing before a massive, gnarled tree. I've sealed most of my powers somewhere ever since. Without hesitation, Eizen raises his staff towards the ancient tree. The staff resonates with the seal, causing the tree to erupt in a brilliant, magical light. A swirling orb of pure energy is pulled from the very heart of the wood. Rin watches the overwhelming display of power with concern, crying out, Sensei. Eizen turns to her with a reassuring smile. It's all right, Rin. The light coalesces, taking the form of a glowing magical contract. As the seal's conditions are confirmed, the magic begins to unravel, releasing the power held within. The book on Eizen's staff flies open, its pages flipping wildly as it absorbs the returning energy. With a final snap, the book closes, the retrieval complete. Rin looks on in amazement. So you've got your powers back. Eizen nods confidently. Exactly, if you read through the last page. The book displays a new entry. Retrieval complete. Skill, power amplification acquired. A satisfied smile spreads across Eizen's face. Looks like my powers are back. Rin's eyes sparkle with excitement. Really? That means Aizen-sensei is even stronger than before. He chuckles, haha, even stronger. He then clarifies, the skill power amplification only increases a bit of your ability, not exponentially, I think. As they resume their journey, Rin asks, Sensei, are you going on this trip to retrieve your powers? Eizen shakes his head. No, this just happened to be along the way. My ultimate goal is to visit my apprentice's dwellings, he explains. I just have the feeling I need to get my powers back first. Eizen stretches, relishing his restored strength. At any rate, the feeling of being at full power again really is incredible. Suddenly, Rin's elf ear twitches, picking up an unnerving sound. She turns to him with a serious expression. Aizen-sensei, please be careful, he calmly replies, yeah. They both stop, now fully aware of a hostile presence. I knew I sensed something, Eizen mutters, as three shadowy figures emerge from the bushes. Heavy, monstrous feet stomp onto the path. A pair of hungry, predatory eyes lock onto them. The beasts snort, revealing sharp boar-like tusks. A pack of 4 lesser trolls stands before them, growling. Eizen is puzzled. Those beasts, they're supposed to be in the outskirts of town. Why are they here in the middle of the forest, he wonders aloud. Rin narrows her eyes, stating, their bloodthirst is obvious. Lightning crackles between Rin's fingers as she prepares a spell. Should I take care of them my way? But Eizen raises a hand to stop her, a wicked grin spreading across his face. No, I'll do it. this is a chance to test my powers too. With his full strength returned, Aizen steps forward to face the pack of monsters alone. Without warning, a pack of 4 ferocious, boar-like monsters known as lesser trolls burst from the tree line, charging straight for them. But as the beasts thunder across the field, Aizen remains perfectly still, his grimoire already open and humming with power. A calm, almost cold smile spreads across his face. I shall send you off. A torrent of fire erupts around him as he unleashes his spell, Blazing Spear. One of the trolls has just enough time for its eye to widen in shock, before the inferno consumes it completely. Its final, agonizing roar is drowned out by the crackling flames. Aizen stands unfazed as the fire rages behind him, watching from a safe distance. Rin's eyes sparkle with admiration. Wow, Sensei's magic is as strong as ever. The entire pack is helpless, writhing in the magical blaze. Aizen watches the flames with a thoughtful expression. The fire's raging even more intensely than when I used it in the other world, he muses. The amplification power must be working. In moments the fire subsides, leaving nothing but charred remains. As the smoke clears, Aizen approaches the piles of ash. He reaches down and plucks a small, glowing object from the cinders. Holding it up he smiles. It's the magic stone. These magic stones are valuable treasures dropped by beasts. They're incredibly versatile and can be sold for a high price or exchanged for goods, making them a vital resource for any adventurer. Now then, Aizen announces, we've gotten rid of the obstacles, let's walk to the city. They set off on their journey, following a peaceful stream. A well-maintained stone path leads them through the countryside towards a town nestled in the distance. Aizen takes in the scenery with a content sigh. The road has been neatly fixed and the stream looks nice. It seems time has made this place somewhat easier to live in. He continues, everything's serene, it puts people at ease. Rin smiles brightly, agreeing with her master, it sure does, sensei. But their peaceful walk is interrupted when they spot a woman frantically searching for something in the grass ahead. She's in a state of panic. What do I do? If it's not there, the warehouse won't open, and everyone will be in danger. Suddenly she looks up and notices Aizen and Rin. She quickly gets to her feet and calls out to them. Running over, she asks urgently, please excuse me for interrupting, but have you seen a jade-colored key by any chance? She holds up her hands to show its size, but Aizen shakes his head. No, unfortunately, we've just arrived, so we haven't seen anything like that. The woman's face falls in despair. As I thought, what to do now? There's barely any time left. She turns away, her voice filled with desperation. No, I have to find it. It must be around here somewhere. Aizen steps forward with a kind smile. If it's all right, shall we lend you a hand? Her eyes light up with surprise and hope. You'd help me look. But that's no good. I shouldn't hold you up. Aizen simply places a hand on his chest, his expression confident and knowing. It wouldn't take much time. In fact, the one finding it would be you. A young woman begins to recount her story to Aizen and Rin. I was picking herbs around here when a kobold suddenly showed up, and I had to chase it away. In a flashback, we see her frantically waving a bottle to scare off the reptilian creature. Then the key's chain broke somehow, she explains, and before I knew it, the key was gone. Aizen listens patiently to her panicked tale. I understand, he says calmly, please give me a moment. He kneels down, his staff planted firmly beside him. Placing his palm flat against the stone path, the ground beneath it begins to ripple like water as he chants, O Earth. Closing his eyes, Aizen focuses his energy. Send me your words. He makes his request to the spirits. I wish to be led to the key that was once on this girl's belt. A faint aura of light envelops Aizen as his magic takes effect. The woman watches, bewildered and a little nervous. Is everything all right? Aizen rises to his feet, his spell complete. Yes, he confirms. He turns to the woman. You also notice that you dropped it around that area, right? She looks towards a fallen log in the distance. Why, yes, that's right. A slight smile plays on Aizen's lips. Not quite, he clarifies. For now, I can only say I know where it is. Her eyes widen with hope. Did you find it? Aizen's magic had shown him a vision of the past, the moment she chased the kobold away. He saw exactly how the key's chain snagged on a jutting branch of the fallen log, snapping and falling into the grass unnoticed. Pointing towards the spot, Aizen gives her a hint. That fallen log near the bushes over there, maybe you should try looking there. The woman doesn't hesitate. Sure. Aizen watches with a knowing look as she rushes off. Hidden in the tall grass, right where the spirits told him it would be, lies her lost key. Her face lights up with pure joy as she spots it. It really is here. She runs back, holding the key triumphantly. Oh my, thank you very much. Aizen smiles back. Not at all, you were the one who found it. Her expression shifts from relief to intense curiosity. Excuse me, that magic you used, did you perhaps see through my past and future with it? Aizen casually dismisses her grand assumption. No, it's not a top-class magic. These kinds of prophecies can be made with any magic, since finding lost objects is a simple foretelling spell. Internally, Aizen recalls what the spirits showed him. They remembered her chasing the kobold and how the key was pulled off by a branch. The woman presses on, "Are you perhaps a prominent prophet then?" Aizen shakes his head. "I'm not that kind of person, I can only gather the voices of the nature's spirits." He muses to himself, looks like it's her first time seeing a prophecy. Before I went anonymous, there weren't many prophets around after all. The woman claps her hands, having reached her own conclusion. "I see, you are one of those spirit summoners then, I am indebted to you, could I know your names please?" Aizen introduces them. "Well, I'm called Aizen and she's Lynette." The woman addresses them formally, "Aizen-sama, Lynette-sama, I'll definitely return this favor. Are you coming to this city to settle or just for a visit?" Aizen replies, "We plan to stay there for a while." She beams, extending a heartfelt invitation. "Then, whenever you have the time, please come to the alchemist's garden at the Global Guild, I'll surely repay your kindness." Waving enthusiastically, she heads off. "I'm really grateful, well then, see you around." As they watch her go, Aizen remarks dryly, "What an incomprehensible hyperactivity." Rin smiles, "Indeed, she was on cloud 9 after finding the key, and sensei, you're as kind as always." The two continue on their path, the nearby city now in view. "Well, I'm already in a good mood," Aizen says cheerfully. "Who doesn't like a pleasant journey?" Rin agrees, "That's right." Aizen grins, "Then let's go with a smile on our faces." Our story begins in the bustling, European-style town of Pioneer City, Sagidale. Walking through the city streets are Aizen and his companion Rin. "We got inside so smoothly," Rin exclaims. Aizen nods, relieved. "Yes, and I'm glad the building I'm heading to is still in the same spot." They arrive at their destination, a massive building that Aizen notes is bigger than before. This is the local branch of the Global Guild. The Global Guild is a massive, world-spanning union that gathers information on every kind of professional imaginable. By registering your profession with them, you receive a global card, an essential ID that grants you passage and recognition across different territories. Rin proudly explains, "The guild master even said in a letter that after I consulted with my teacher, the city's congestion and security problems were solved." Aizen listens, a memory flashing through his mind of when Rin came to him for that advice so long ago. A fond smile crosses his face as he thinks, "It's amazing to see the results of that advice with my own eyes now." They step inside the guild hall, a lively place filled with adventurers and patrons eating, drinking, and planning their next moves. Making their way through the crowd, they head towards the reception counter. A friendly receptionist spots them and calls out with a bright smile, "Next person please." Aizen and Rin approach the desk. "Welcome to the Global Guild," the receptionist greets them. "What can I do for you today?" Aizen gets straight to the point, "I want to make a guild card." The receptionist nods professionally. "Creating a global card, correct? I understand. May I ask what it will be used for?" With a confident grin, Aizen declares, "I want to travel around the world." The receptionist's professional smile drops, replaced by pure shock. "Whoa," she gasps. Her eyes widen in realization. "Is that so? You're going to be an adventurer then?" Aizen seems confused by her reaction. "Is that something to be surprised about?" She smiles, explaining, "It's just the first one I've seen since I started working here. In this time of peace, most people join a company. There are very few who become adventurers." Aizen strokes his chin thoughtfully. "She's right," he muses. "In the past, about 30% of people became adventurers, traveling while taking on various requests." The receptionist's smile turns warm and genuine. "Hee, you guys are brave." Aizen replies, "That's what I yearn for." Realizing they've gotten sidetracked, the receptionist quickly gets back to business. "My bad, we went off topic." She slides a long, detailed form across the counter. "Then please write your name and job on this form." Rin's eyes go wide at the sheer amount of text. "Whoa, teacher, it's a huge wall of words, look at all these job names." Aizen calmly reassures her, "Well, this is your first time, Rin." He explains the process. "You can choose one or more. Just circle the job you want to pick. Have you been diagnosed with a proper job in the occupation temple?" As he prepares to fill out his own form, Aizen thinks back to his diagnosis. "I'm sure I am a prophet and a scholar, plus about 4 or 5 other jobs." He continues his internal monologue. "My previous card got destroyed during the war with the evil god. I'm glad that it can be reissued as many times as you like." But as he scans the long list of professions, he stops, a confused look on his face. "What?" The receptionist notices his pause. "What seems to be the trouble?" Aizen looks up from the form. "I can't find the prophet job name." The woman's friendly demeanor vanishes instantly, replaced with shock and a hint of fear. A bead of sweat rolls down her face as she leans in and whispers, Well, are you going to name yourself a prophet, really?" Aizen is completely lost. "Is that a bad thing?" he asks. She quickly hushes him. "Well, if you're kidding, don't say too much." Her voice drops to a grim, serious tone. "The last prophet died 15 years ago, they're extinct now." Aizen processes this startling news with a nervous smile. "Extinct? Huh, really?" She leans in even closer, her eyes wide with terror. If you call yourself a prophet, you will be haunted by the dead and the Reaper will be summoned. But from here on, there is something even more dangerous. Rin and Eisen are completely captivated. What is it? The guild receptionist leans in, her expression serious. Perhaps you don't know, there's been a decree from the king for years. Trying to name oneself a prophet so casually is a very bad idea. She recalls the king's booming declaration. Should anyone be found naming himself a prophet, report immediately. Mobilize all guards and guild members to escort him. Eisen breaks into a cold sweat, forcing a smile. Seriously. The receptionist continues, her voice low and urgent. If you name yourself a prophet, you will be reported and secured. It will become a very big deal. Will you still call yourself a prophet? She presses. In the past, someone was captured for making that exact claim. Eisen thinks to himself, it's not a lie, but it's definitely better to keep my mouth shut here. He leans over to a nervous Rin, who gulps, sensing the sudden tension. Quickly changing his tune, Eisen laughs it off. Ah no, please just take it as a joke. I'll register for another job. Thank you for teaching me so much, Miss Receptionist. As he turns away, the receptionist smiles to herself, though a flicker of doubt remains. A person who wants to be a brave adventurer, being shaken by a single joke worries me. Eisen smirks, crossing his arms. I couldn't even tell it was a joke, he thinks. I can't get you in trouble for mobilizing the city guard. The Duke sometimes really overdoes it. He mulls over his options. A profession that doesn't stand out, one that can help you travel. A profession I'm fit for, I'll be a spiritualist. After filling out the form, he hands it back. The receptionist takes it with a smile. I've received it. I'll issue the card now, so please be patient. She places a blank card on the registration form. With a special stamp in hand, she prepares to finalize his registration. She presses the magical stamp firmly onto the card and document. A surge of energy flows from the stamp, imprinting Eisen's new identity onto the card with a flash of light. The process is complete. She proudly presents the finished guild card. Here, it is complete. I will say it once again, welcome to the Global Guild, Spiritualist Eisen-sama. Eisen takes his new card, a wide grin on his face. Thank you. But the process isn't over yet. Then, both of you, the receptionist gestures, please go to the table at the end of the counter. They follow her directions to an empty station. Eisen looks confused. Is there still something to do? She returns, presenting an ornate wooden board set with 5 glowing crystals. This is next. Eisen and Rin stare at the strange device. What is this? The receptionist places it on the table. This is a magic power research board. She puts 2 and 2 together. If you don't know, this must be your first time making a card. I see, so that's why you made that weird joke. Eisen just shrugs. It's a simple misunderstanding, but that's fine. My perception of the guild is a bit outdated. Clearing her throat, she begins her explanation. All new members have their magic power measured and are ranked from S to K by clarifying your abilities. The guild can assign suitable jobs and reduce accidents. Eisen recalls a letter from one of his students. Speaking of which, my disciple told me he invented a tool to measure magic power for the guild. Rin looks on, intrigued. So that's the tool. The receptionist beams with pride. The one who thought of this was the guildmaster's counselor, who is one of the 100 heroes. I can't thank the heroes enough. Eisen sweats, thinking, this is embarrassing. The one who created that was my disciple. The receptionist snaps back to the task at hand. Well, let's start with Eisen-sama. Please touch the right edge of the board. Eisen steps forward, ready for the test. He places his hand on the designated spot. Here. As she prepares to take notes, she explains, the crystals will break according to your magic power. 1 crystal is K rank, all 5 is G rank. The average for a new spiritualist is H. First of all, this board. Before she can finish her sentence, all 5 crystals erupt in a violent explosion of light and energy, shocking them both. The receptionist stares, her mouth agape. Eisen looks back at her with a sheepish grin. Miss Receptionist, all of the crystals are gone. Across the guild hall, adventurers look up from their drinks. Whoa. The room begins to buzz. The new spiritualist broke all the crystals on the initial board. That's a rare thing to see. The receptionist stammers, trying to regain her composure. That's true. Eisen-sama seems to have quite a lot of magical power. I'll mark at least a G rank then. As the crowd murmurs, Eisen asks, Miss, what's after this? She quickly replies, next is, just a moment. She rushes back with a second, more durable-looking board. Please try this next. It can distinguish between F rank and D rank. I see, Eisen says, ready for round 2. The moment his hand touches the board, it too shatters instantly. The receptionist cries out, this one also completely broke. Now a proper crowd has gathered, their chatter filling the hall. No way, he passed D rank too. This is the first time I've ever seen a rookie go that fast. Eisen notes the growing audience. It feels like there are more people now. I wonder if D ranks aren't very common. The flustered receptionist appears with a third, even more elaborate board. Eisen-sama, please use this one next. This one is marked with the highest ranks. Eisen examines it. The letters S, A, B, and C are on the board. This is probably the last one. In that case, let's finish this up. He places his hand on the final board. Immediately, the far right crystal begins to glow and pings ominously. The crowd is electric. Dang man, even the C crystal cracked, Eisen sighs internally. It seems like this has become a show now. The receptionist begins to panic. Wow, don't tell me he's going to be a B rank. If that happens, I have to report it to the castle. I need to calm down. As she frantically thinks about royal report formats, the C crystal continues to crack. With a loud pop, the C rank crystal shatters completely. The crowd roars. The C crystal broke. Is it going to keep going? Eisen's eyes widen in alarm. This might not be a good thing. Just as he feared, the B rank crystal begins to glow and ping. Cracks start a spiderweb across its surface. Not wanting any more attention, Eisen focuses intently. Control my magic. The cracking slows and then stops. An abrupt silence falls over the board. The receptionist blinks in surprise. It stopped. Looking at the final result, she makes the official call. Then the measurement is over. You're a C rank then. Her shock gives way to excitement. Amazing, Eisen-sama, to suddenly become a C rank. The crowd erupts in cheers. Damn, that was awesome, new guy, a C rank spiritualist newbie. That's a huge jump over the average. Eisen gives an awkward wave. Thank you, he thinks to himself. I'm glad I was able to stop it at C rank. If I broke the B crystal, someone would have to contact the king, and that would cause a massive commotion. It would be great if I can travel without burdening my disciples or anyone around me. The receptionist is still buzzing. A little bit more and you would have been B rank. This is a wonderful result. Nearby, Rin smiles. If you say so, I'll keep that in mind. Then the last thing is a farewell gift from the guild, the receptionist announces. Please wait for a few minutes. Meanwhile, Rin has also completed her test, registering as a C rank magician to match Eisen. While they wait, Eisen turns to her. Rin, your magic is more powerful than that. You didn't have to match my rank, you know. She beams back. No, being the same as sensei is fine. Suddenly, a voice calls out from behind them. Sorry for the wait. It's the receptionist, now identified as Keisha, and she's brought a man with a ponytail. Who is this? Eisen asks. Keisha-san, an introduction please. Keisha explains Dominique-san is an E-rank spiritualist. He's a 10-year veteran and he's in charge of your training as our farewell gift. Dominique grins widely. Nice to meet you, promising newbie. I will teach you all about spirits. Back at the guild, Eisen brings up something he overheard. A farewell class. Rin, sitting beside him, is just as confused. What's that? Keisha and Dominique step forward to explain. Every time a newbie makes a card, Dominique begins, we conduct free courses to help them acquire the required knowledge and skills. Eisen is impressed. Giving it for free is pretty generous, and it's in person, not just a textbook. Keisha smiles, adding, exactly. To avoid playing favorites with company textbooks, the guild hires professionals directly to teach. She explains that this system ensures a high standard for all professions, building trust with both companies and the guild itself. Keisha then reveals, incidentally, this whole mechanism was created by the guild's consultant. Her name is Felicia. Eisen's eyes widen as Keisha continues. When I thanked her, she just said, it's the result of consulting with Master, so you should be thanking him. With a fond expression, Keisha admits, at that moment I thought the teacher she was talking about must be a truly great person. Hearing this, Eisen can't help but feel a little awkward. He thinks to himself, it's a bit embarrassing since they're talking about me. He recalls the consultation letter he received from Felicia. The results of his advice are right in front of him. This must be what they call fate, he muses. Keisha mentions that the sorcerers are all busy, but Rin cheerfully chimes in. I'm all right to wait. Seeing his opening, Eisen formally accepts the offer. Well then, I'll be happy to accept, Keisha-san. Dominique-san, please take care of me. Dominique is overjoyed. Same here, Otis-san, I'm grateful you're even talking to me. I honestly thought I'd be refused because I'm just an E-rank. With the arrangements made, Dominique leads Eisen to the guild's training room on the second floor. Inside the spacious room, Dominique stands ready to begin the lesson. All right, he starts. A spiritualist, as the name says, is a profession where you get in touch with spirits and use their magic and skills. He continues, basically, you're either asking for the help of nature's spirits, or you form a contract with them to use their power continuously. To demonstrate, Dominique reaches for his gauntlet, and a wisp of energy begins to emerge. Eisen watches intently, his curiosity piqued. A swirl of blue light gracefully wraps around Dominique's arm. That blue light is a spirit, right? Eisen asks. Dominique nods with a smile. That's right, a lower-class light spirit, one of my contracted partners. Dominique explains his line of work. I mostly get requests from companies for scouting and cartography. I have these spirits fly ahead to check for demon beasts or confirm our destination, acting as my eyes in the sky. Because you're an adventurer, Otis-san, you'll probably get fewer jobs like that from companies, he adds. Aizen nods in understanding. Thank you, Dominique-san, that helps me prepare. Dominique's expression turns serious. Next up is technique. I want to talk about how to communicate with a spirit. He holds out his hand, focusing his energy. He chants the name of the skill, Magic Ball Refinement. A small shimmering ball of light appears in his palm. Immediately, the nearby spirits are drawn to the light. They zip through the air, heading straight for the magical energy. The spirits happily absorb the magic ball. Is that communication? Aizen asks. Dominique explains, one method is trading by meal. If you give a spirit a meal called magic, it will help you in exchange. With this, I'm calling on them to sign up for a task. Dominique turns to Aizen. Did you remember the spell? Aizen thoughtfully replies, indeed, spirits are upright. They always try to return what they've received. His eyes focus. Ah, magic ball refinement, like this, right? In an instant, a massive orb of pure magic erupts from Aizen's hand, leaving Dominique completely stunned. Dominique is speechless. That's right, to learn it at a glance, and it's so big. As expected from a C-rank, your magical power is amazing. Aizen gives credit where it's due. It's only because you explained it so well, Dominique-san, and thanks to this little spirit, too. Dominique laughs, patting his spirit affectionately. I'm glad to hear that. There, you too, thank you for your help. The spirit lets out a happy little chirp. Aizen smiles, observing their interaction. You two have a great relationship of trust. Dominique beams with pride. Of course, we've been together for a long time. But then, Aizen asks a question that shatters his reality. Dominique-san, you don't converse with your spirit. Dominique freezes, utterly bewildered. Aizen clarifies, that blue spirit, it talks to you a lot. Dominique's jaw drops. Impossible, Otis-san, you understand the spirit's language. Aizen calmly replies, well yes I do. A wave of excitement washes over Dominique. Then that high-pitched sound it always makes when I stroke it. You know what it means. If that's true, you're incredible. He gently holds the chirping spirit. Thrusting it towards Aizen, he begs, this sound, this high-pitched sound, tell me what's it saying. Aizen leans in to listen. Well, I can hear its voice clearly, he begins. It's saying, thank you for patting and treasuring me. He continues translating, but I keep saying it doesn't matter if you use fewer magic orbs. It's saying something like that. Okay. Dominique stares, completely dumbfounded. Is that so? Suddenly all the spirits in the room start zipping around joyfully. These are happy motions, Dominique exclaims. Are you joking? I'm not lying, I just translated what it said, Aizen reassures him. Dominique can only stammer, you're amazing, Otis-san. He explains it's incredibly difficult for humans to understand the language of spirits. Only a fairly high-class spiritualist can use communication through conversation. Aizen is surprised. So talking is a difficult technique, Dominique confirms, of course it is. I've been doing this for a long time, but I only know a few words. I can finally tell its feelings from its motions, but that's it. He looks at Aizen with awe. I've heard that some people are born with the ability to speak the spirit language, but I never thought I'd see one with my own eyes, let alone a newbie. Aizen smiles to himself. He's praising me so much. Dominique is a good person. Dominique looks emotional, completely overwhelmed by the revelation. Oh, sorry, he says, covering his face. I was so surprised I was at a loss for words. He shakes his head in disbelief. You're a really promising one. I was supposed to be the teacher, but I'm the one who got taught today. He looks at Aizen and declares, that's all for the course, Otis-san. With a huge, beaming smile, Dominique gives him a thumbs up. If it's you, you'll have no problem being a spiritualist. As your senior, I'll give you my stamp of approval. He laughs, admitting defeat. You were already better than me in communication from the beginning. It's my loss. Aizen realizes just being able to talk to spirits is a huge advantage. They shake hands as colleagues. I'm sorry I couldn't teach you much, Dominique says. No, Aizen replies, I'm extremely grateful for your advice. Aizen reflects on the successful lesson. He's become acquainted with an experienced peer, and he's pretty sure he made a good impression. His lesson complete, Aizen heads back downstairs. He finds Rin at their table poring over a large map. Ah, you're back, Aizen-sensei, I got a map of the city from Keisha-san. She points to several locations. All the inns are clearly marked. I see, Rin, it's about time we find an inn, Aizen says, joining her. Rin adds, Keisha-san said there are many good ones around the guild. Aizen looks at the map. We'll be in this city for about a week, so I want to choose a convenient place. He checks his magic bag overflowing with cash. I checked with the barkeeper, we have enough to stay at an average inn for 3 months. This bag holds more than it looks. Rin adds another piece of good news. As adventurers, we can also sell information about where we've gone to guilds and cartographers. We won't have money problems for a while. Just then a familiar woman approaches their table. Ah, I knew it, you're Aizen-sama and Rin-sama, right? Aizen recognizes her instantly. It's the woman whose lost key they found. Yes, I'm Eureka, an alchemist. She beams at them. Thank goodness, your names were the topic of conversation around the guild, so I came to check, to actually meet you in person. Is this fate? Aizen is taken aback. Eureka-san, are our names really that widespread? There's no need for san, Aizen-sama, she insists. I'm friends with pretty much all the professionals in the guild. Eureka explains excitedly. I heard from them that 2 people with amazing magical power had just registered. Since I was personally helped by that amazing power, I was convinced it had to be you. She leans in, and I heard you 2 became adventurers. Is that true? Aizen confirms. Well, that's right. Eureka's eyes light up. Then, by all means, would you please come over to our shop nearby, the alchemist's garden? We have everything from alchemy materials to equipment and magic tools. I'm sure it will help you as adventurers. Aizen is tempted. I'd like to check it out, but right now we need to find an inn before all the rooms are taken. Eureka grins. In that case, our shop also functions as an inn, so please come stay with us. She quickly points out the location on their map. Oh, is that so? Aizen says, pleased. It sounds like a good place. I think we'll stay there. Eureka insists. I'll pay the fee. That key was really important to me, so please let me do this. Aizen accepts her generous offer. Then we'll stay at your inn. Rin, are you okay with that? Rin is ecstatic. Of course, if I can stay with Sensei, any inn is okay. Eureka promises to welcome them with everything she has. Just a short walk from the guild, Eureka proudly leads Aizen and Rin towards a massive building. Right here, she announces, this is our store. Aizen is stunned by the sheer scale of the place. The store is quite large, huh? Eureka beams with pride. Yep, fortunately it's the biggest store in the city. The ornate sign above the entrance confirms it, the alchemist's garden. Stepping inside the lavish hall, a uniformed employee immediately greets them. Ah, welcome back, President Eureka. Is it all right for you to be back so soon? Eureka smiles warmly, gesturing towards her new companions. Yes, I had a lucky encounter. Aizen and Rin exchange a confused glance. Aizen can't help but ask, President? Eureka turns, realizing she'd left out a key detail. Ah, right, I didn't finish introducing myself. She stands tall, making a formal declaration. I am the president of the alchemist company, the Alchemist's Garden. My full name is Eureka Griffin. It's a pleasure to meet you. As they're led further into the opulent building, the high ceilings and grand chandeliers speak of immense wealth. Eureka has them take a seat in a luxurious lounge area while she handles some business. Meanwhile, 2 employees in the background start gossiping. So that's the spiritualist who helped President Eureka. The other whispers, apparently he's a total newbie. Word from the guild is that 2 amazing people just showed up. One of them continues, sizing Aizen up from a distance. The president might be a little careless, but she's still really strong. I'm wondering how some spiritualist could have actually helped her. Can he really be the guy causing all those rumors? He mutters, as Aizen sits silently, overhearing every word. Rin leans in, whispering to her master. Somehow, it's becoming the same situation as at the guild, Sensei. Aizen sighs. Yeah, the guild is nearby, but I'm still surprised how fast that rumor traveled. Just then, Eureka returns with an older, monocled gentleman. The room will be ready soon, she says. May we talk with you here in the meantime? Aizen nods. Yes, sure. Aizen gets straight to the point. So, Eureka, you're the president of this massive store. Why was someone like you foraging for herbs on the outskirts of the city? Eureka explains, I was looking for herbs for a negotiation. The ones out there are tricky to make potions with, so I went alone to prove I could do it myself. The older man beside her looks relieved. President Eureka, he begins before turning to Aizen. I'm sorry to have troubled you today, and thank you for your assistance. Eureka waves it off with a smile. It's fine, it was my decision to go, and it was my mistake to lose the key to the magic warehouse. She then points directly at Aizen and Rin. If you want to thank someone, thank these 2 people right here. The man bows deeply, his voice filled with gratitude. Aizen-sama, Rin-sama, for helping our president. No, for saving our company's negotiations, I offer you my sincerest thanks. It was a really important deal. Aizen brushes off the praise with his usual modesty. Well, all I did was find a key, so you don't have to go that far. He then adds almost to himself, no, I'm sorry, I just thought it was strange. Eureka giggles at his humble reaction, leaving Aizen and Rin a bit confused. Rin looks at Aizen thoughtfully. You know, watching you, Aizen-sama, I'm reminded of the person who trained me. You have a similar vibe. Aizen's interest is piqued. The person who trained you. Eureka chimes in, explaining her own philosophy. I should call her my master, she taught me so many things. She would always say, do your own part, you should do what you can, even if you have the same role as someone else. She continues, I learned that from one of the 100 heroes who became the president of a university, so I'm just following her example. Rin is stunned. Eureka-san's master is one of the 100 heroes. Eureka smiles proudly. Yes, the president of Kunamiya Magic University, Mel-san. The name instantly triggers a memory for Aizen. A small witch on a broom flashes in his mind. Ah, Mel the witch was an energetic child, he remarks. so you are her disciple. Eureka nods. That's right, though I went to a branch school nearby instead of the main one in the capital. She doesn't just stay in the capital, Eureka explains, she flies all over for her job. For the last few years, she's been teaching at a university near this city. The scene shifts to that very university branch, focusing on the door to the president's room. Inside a library-filled office, an assistant approaches a woman with long, flowing hair and a witch's hat. President Mel Rose, here is this week's report from the guild. Mel Rose takes the report, a calm smile on her face. Thanks, I'll look it over. As she flips through the pages, her assistant hesitates. He has more to report than just guild business. Mel looks up, sensing his unease. The assistant speaks nervously, and there is someone who wants to meet with you, a suspicious guest hiding his face with a magic mask. Mel's smile turns knowing. He has already contacted me, let him through. Heavy footsteps approach the office door. A large cloaked man wearing a strange mask enters, startling the assistant. Mel addresses the imposing figure without a hint of surprise. It's rare for you to travel so far from the capital, Disciple Duke. The man reaches for his mask. He removes it, revealing a powerful-looking man with a magnificent beard and mustache. I had worked nearby, so I decided to drop in for a visit. But his expression quickly turns serious, filled with a profound excitement. I have to tell you something about Master Eizen. The disciple's dearest wish may finally be fulfilled. In a grand office, Disciple Duke delivers a world-shaking revelation. The other day, we performed a regular fortune-telling, he begins, his voice grave. Soon, a powerful prophet will appear in this world. The news hits Mel Rose like a lightning bolt. She stands abruptly, her composure shattered. A prophet, she exclaims, the master is returning, but Duke quickly tempers her excitement. No, the prophecy didn't specify it was Master Eizen or even when it will happen. The details are unclear. Mel Rose sinks back, processing his words. That's right, she murmurs, to have that level of accuracy, the power would have to be on par with the master's. A smile returns to her face, filled with new resolve. Whoever it is, anyone with the aptitude of a prophet is precious. We must welcome them with all our might, especially if it turns out to be our master. Duke nods in agreement. The guild has already been given instructions, so we are preparing to welcome him. Their excitement is palpable. That's right, I want to welcome Master Eizen as well, Duke declares. Mel Rose beams, then I have to finish my work so I can greet the master properly. The conversation shifts as Duke glances out the window. Speaking of work, he says, I heard you're serving as the master of the global guild here in the Pioneer City. Mel Rose gives a modest smile. It was on a whim. Being a master is quite hard, but it's fun. I get to find and teach children with different ideas than those in the capital. She picks up a report from her desk, her expression pleased. I get weekly reports on new professionals in the city's guild. It lets me track the distribution of ranks and occupations. It's been a good harvest this season. But her smile fades as she continues. We have new D ranks, even some C ranks. It's true that more people are looking toward the future, but there is one bad thing too. An image of grotesque monsters flashes through her mind. For the past few months, the number of monsters around the Pioneer City has increased. Many of them have high physical defense, so we're running out of magicians. Duke's expression turns serious as he considers the implications. That could lead to a deterioration in public safety. As soon as you return to the capital, we should consider dispatching professional magicians. Mel Rose makes a decision. Letters, I'll leave it to you, Disciple Duke. Since reports are always written, I'd like to send one to Master Eizen again. She looks out towards the city beyond her office, a hopeful look in her eyes. Actually, it would be best if the master just came over here. Duke simply replies, I see, understanding her sentiment completely. The scene shifts, and as a new day dawns over the city rooftops, our focus returns to another place entirely. Eizen's eyes flutter open. He sits up a bit surprised. Oh, this is rare. He looks over to the other bed where Rin is still sound asleep. Usually, Rin gets up earlier than me. Rin murmurs in her sleep, a blissful smile on her face. Fumiya, sensei, it's warm. Eizen can't help but smile softly. He thinks to himself, I'll let her sleep a bit longer. But just then, Rin begins to stir. She lets out a big yawn, rubbing the sleep from her eyes. Oh, you're awake, Eizen says with a friendly smile. Rin's eyes focus, and she sees Eizen already dressed and sitting across the room. Realization dawns and she bolts upright in a panic. I am so sorry I got up late. Eizen calmly reassures her, no need to apologize, it's okay to relax. But Rin shakes her head, still flustered. No, for me, a member of the disciples who want to take care of the master faction, this is a major mess up, she says, looking utterly defeated. Eizen chuckles. I don't think such a faction exists, maybe, but you'd be surprised how many of the letters we get say things like that. Rin looks up, intrigued. Is that so? He explains gently, you were just tired from going out yesterday, Rin. Our body clocks are messed up from traveling the world and I did use a lot of magic to move us around. His words only fuel her determination. Clenching her fists, Rin declares, "In the future, I want to get up at least at the same time as you, sensei. Your endurance is insane, but I have to at least adapt to it." Aizen smiles warmly at her spirit. It's not a bad thing to gain physical strength, he thinks. I think she should do her best. Seeing her wide awake and full of energy, he says, "Okay, well then, Rin. Now that you're completely awake after breakfast, let's take a look at the town and its surroundings." Rin's eyes light up with pure joy. "Ah yes, let's go on an adventure, sensei." As the morning sun shines over the quaint town, Aizen's voice rings out. "Haha, okay, sightseeing in Sagidale." Aizen and Rin take some time to explore the bustling marketplace of the pioneer city, soaking in the sights and sounds. They browse the local stalls, with Aizen checking out some exotic-looking meats, while Rin admires the fresh flowers and produce. Suddenly Rin spots something special. "Sensei," she calls out, "it's the juice of the pioneer city's special fruit." They both grab a cup. "This is delicious," Aizen exclaims, and Rin happily agrees, "Yeah, it's delicious." Their tour of the city continues. They take in all the local color, with Rin even stopping to make friends with a horse. The two make their way through the city square, enjoying a perfect, peaceful day. As the sun shines brightly, they find a special spot to take in the view. Their sightseeing takes them to a place called the Alchemist's Garden Rooftop. "Wow, it's beautiful," Rin says, amazed by the sprawling cityscape. Aizen smiles, enjoying the breeze. "Yes, it's peaceful and has a good view." Rin adds, "Fortunately, Yurika-san opened the roof specially for us." Aizen points towards the distant hills. "There should be a branch of the Magic University beyond that hill, but I can't see it." Rin remembers, "The one that Mel-san is at." This gives Aizen an idea. "You've read about her in my letters, but she's a truly excellent witch. I'll introduce you to her later." Rin is taken aback by the offer. "Huh, is it okay to use your time like that for me?" "It's a good idea to meet her," Aizen insists. "Having a connection with an excellent person is a plus for you." Touched by his consideration, Rin smiles warmly. "Aizen-sensei, you're always thinking about me. Then, I'd be glad to be introduced to her." Just then, a loud bell rings out across the city, catching their attention. Aizen recognizes the sound. That's the bell of the Global Guild, announcing midday. He checks his pocket watch, realizing how quickly time has passed. "Wow, we've spent a lot of time just going around the city." "Let's have lunch at the guild," Aizen suggests. Rin is immediately on board. "I agree, they have dishes you can only get in the Pioneer City's guild." And she wasn't kidding. A sizzling platter of delicious-looking food is served right to their table. After finishing their meal, Aizen leans back satisfied. He recalls a letter from Mel. She wrote that the nearby fertile land produces delicacies, and she was right. Both the vegetables and the meat were amazing. He smiles contentedly. "I'm glad I came to this city. This is the best part of traveling." But across the room, someone spots them. "Ah, as I thought, it's Aizen-san and his friend." A woman rushes over to their table. "It's good that you are still in this city." Aizen looks up, recognizing her. "The receptionist, Keisha-san." "Yes, I am Keisha," she confirms, looking a bit frantic. "There is something I need you to help with," she blurts out. Aizen's expression sharpens. "In other words, a request." Keisha explains the dire situation. "Actually, the spirit of the wind is making a fuss on the farmland near the city. We don't have enough manpower, and only a magician or a spiritualist can deal with it. That's why I need help from both of you," she pleads. Aizen listens intently, understanding the gravity of the situation. Keisha continues, "The farmland and orchards are being ravaged by the spirit's tornado. There's also a path for students heading to the Magic University, and I'm afraid they'll get hurt. If this goes on, the whole city will be in danger." Aizen processes the information, his brow furrowed in thought. "I see, that is not good." He remembers Mel's letters about the excellent students and the specialty farms. "We can't let the students Mel is so proud of or the farmers get hurt. Can we be the ones to help?" Keisha's face lights up with hope. "Yes, it is a request specifically for C-rank Aizen-sama and Rin-sama." "Then I'll gladly accept this request, Keisha-san," Aizen declares. Rin chimes in immediately. "Me too, I'll help sensei." "Thank you so much," Keisha says, relieved. "Please come this way. I'll introduce you to the person who will explain the request and accompany you." Inside the reception room, a man with his arms crossed looks up in surprise. "Huh, isn't it Atisu-san and his friend?" He stands up to greet them. "Dominique-san, I see, no need for san, I'm honored to suddenly be working with these C-ranks." "Best regards, Dominique," Aizen replies. "My spiritualist skill allows me to have conversations with spirits, which should be a big help." Dominique smiles. "Same here, please treat me well. Same goes for the magician over there." Dominique adds with a nervous sweat, "I thought this was a nasty request, but suddenly there's hope." Aizen picks up on the word. "Nasty? Huh, Keisha-san, can you tell me more about this request?" Keisha nervously gets ready to brief them. She unrolls a map on the table. "The forest is between the farm and the orchard. The request is to calm down the wind spirit there. You can use any method that works, subjugation, repulsion, anything. Rin leans in, her eyes focused. So the method we use is up to us, right? Yes, Keisha says with a determined look. I'm counting on your power. The opponent is powerful, so I'm leaving it to you. In a remote forest, a massive tornado tears through the trees. A voiceover from Keisha explains the situation. The tornado appears constantly, but the spirit causing it remains unseen. Guild scouts estimate its class to be at least lower or higher grade. Back at the Adventurers Guild, Eizen questions the guild master, Keisha. How did it get like this? If a spirit goes wild, there has to be a reason. Keisha looks troubled. You're right, spirits don't rage without cause, but our scouts questioned everyone nearby and they all said it just happened suddenly. The reason for its anger is completely unknown. She lays out the mission details. That's why the request is to calm the spirit down. I also want you to investigate the cause if possible. Of course, she adds with a pointed finger, we'll pay extra for any data you bring back. Eizen processes the information. Investigate the cause and calm it down, he muses. This has to be at least a D-rank difficulty quest. That's pretty high. Rin looks up at Keisha, surprised. This is difficulty D, Keisha nods grimly. Yes, the spirit is immune to physical attacks and the cause of the outbreak is a mystery. That's what makes this a high-level request. A seasoned adventurer named Dominique smiles confidently. A D-rank quest is a serious jump in difficulty. I only took this because I have 10 years of experience as a spiritualist. It's a tense job for sure. But as he observes his new partners, Dominique thinks to himself, but Aizen-san and his friend, they don't seem nervous at all. They look completely at ease. Eizen catches his glance and says, is that so? Well, of course, we are C-rank after all. Dominique continues his internal thought, a small smile on his face. And yet, I don't sense any arrogance from them. He decides to speak his mind. For a newly minted C-rank to immediately take on a D-rank quest, most would be reeking of arrogance. Dominique gives them a genuine, impressed look. But you two aren't like the usual promising newbies. I'm really happy to be working with you. Eizen smiles back, I'm glad you think so, then let's head to the location at once. Rin eagerly agrees, yes, sensei, while Dominique adds, okay, Aizen-san. As they prepare to leave, Keisha smiles warmly. She sees them off from the guild's entrance, calling out, the guild is providing body recovery potions. Everyone, please be careful. The team sets out, leaving the bustling town behind. Eizen, Rin, and Dominique walk along a stone path leading towards the wilderness. Suddenly they stop on a hill as a fierce wind whips around them. Aizen's eyes fix on the horizon. That's the tornado. Rin gasps, her eyes wide with awe and fear. Wow, it's huge. Before them, the colossal vortex churns, ripping trees from the earth. Eizen stares at it, a thoughtful expression on his face. Ah, so this is it. Dominique squints at the swirling mass. It's more of a localized storm than a tornado. Eizen turns to their specialist. According to the guild scout, there's a spirit at the center of this thing, right, Dominique? The spiritualist nods grimly. Yes. Dominique steps forward, taking charge. Because of its wide range, we'll have to walk for a while. I'll take the lead and make a path for you too. He holds out his hand, gathering spirit energy into a glowing orb. With a soft whisper, he casts his spell, Spirit Art Little Veil. The energy shoots upwards. It expands above them, forming a protective dome. A translucent barrier envelops the trio, shielding them from the raging winds. Eizen watches the barrier form. Roger, he says, closing his eyes, but before that, the earth and the atmosphere give me your voice. Dominique turns to them. With this, if you follow me, you can ignore the wind for the most part. You too should preserve your power. He notices Aizen's incantation. Did you use some kind of defensive magic? Eizen replies vaguely. Something like that. Let's go, Dominique. The team agrees and moves forward. Protected by the shimmering veil, the party ventures into the heart of the storm-ravaged forest. Eizen smiles. It's nice not getting sand in our eyes because of your defense. Dominique nods, thanks for the praise, but this can only stop things like sand. He issues a stark warning. It can't prevent big or sharp objects, so be careful. Just as he says this, Eizen's expression sharpens. Eizen's voice is suddenly firm and urgent. If that's the case, Dominique, crouch now. Completely bewildered, Dominique still obeys. Like this, okay, but why? Eizen's eyes are locked on something unseen. Soon, the stone spirit said a stake is about to fly right here. Dominique's confusion instantly turns to alarm. The very next second, a massive, splintered wooden stake smashes into the ground, exactly where Dominique's head had been moments before. A cold sweat breaks out on Dominique's face as he stares at the deadly projectile. That was dangerous. I almost got skewered. He turns to Eizen, completely baffled. Was that some kind of precognition? How did you know? Eizen calmly shakes his head. It's not foresight or anything like that. Eizen explains, I was just listening to the voices from the surrounding spirits, so I understood the situation. Dominique is floored. You're listening to spirits in this wind. Yes, Eizen confirms. It's easier than trying to see what's happening with my eyes. Dominique can only stare in awe. That's amazing concentration, Aizen-san. Does it get easier with practice? He shakes his head, thoroughly impressed. No, your skill is so high, it's hard to believe you're a newbie. Still on the ground, Dominique asks, is it okay for me to get up now? Aizen nods. Yes, it's okay now, let's proceed. The wind howls even more fiercely as they push deeper into the forest. Finally, they break through the tree line into a clearing. Dominique points ahead. We can see it now. At the calm center of the raging storm sits a single, large, glowing egg. That's the spirit that caused the tornado, Aizen states. Dominique squints, trying to analyze it. I can't tell its class or kind from here, we'll have to get closer. But as they watch, cracks begin to form on the egg's surface. The cracks spread rapidly before the shell shatters outward. The team watches, frozen in anticipation. From within the broken shell, a humanoid female figure emerges, radiating immense power. Dominique's professional calm shatters. Wait, please wait. His face turns pale with dawning horror as he recognizes the signs. An individual that can take a human shape with this much magical power, he stammers, his voice filled with dread. That's a senior spirit. An ethereal being floats in the forest clearing, its form made of pure wind and magic. This is a senior spirit. Dominique's eyes widen in terror as the realization hits him. So that's why the scout couldn't read its magic power. It's a spirit, this is bad. He knows exactly what they're up against. Senior spirits only exist in sacred places. To even stand against one, you need to be a B-rank magician. But to actually fight it, you need an A-ranker or it's impossible. His mind races, calculating their odds. C-rank magicians should escape immediately. This is a B difficulty situation at minimum. But his resolve hardens. But as a guild professional, I have to make an escape for the promising duet behind me. They still have a future. As Dominique prepares for the inevitable clash, Aizen calmly observes the entity. It's coming, Dominique mutters, but Aizen replies, but it doesn't seem to be hostile. Ignoring Aizen's observation, Dominique begins to channel his magic. I should strengthen our defense and prepare for the fight. The senior spirit doesn't even move. It simply raises a hand and points a single, delicate finger towards them. Dominique's face contorts in shock. In an instant, a hurricane-force blast of wind erupts from the spirit's fingertip. The raw power sends Dominique flying backward, tumbling through the air. He's thrown across the clearing like a ragdoll, crashing hard into the ground. Coughing on the ground, Dominique realizes his little veil spell barely saved him. Wind blow magic, with just one finger, are they safe? He looks over and sees Aizen and Rin standing perfectly still, untouched by the blast. The spirit only targeted him. Good, if I become a decoy, they should be able to escape. He tries to push himself up, but a horrifying realization dawns on him. My body can't move, I'm numb. As the spirit slowly raises its finger for a second attack, Dominique's mind screams, this is bad. Paralyzed, all he can do is shout a desperate warning. The next one is coming, Aizen-san, escape. Aizen remains completely calm. Save your words, he says before uttering a simple command. Cane, cut apart. The spirit points again, unleashing another devastating wave of wind. But Aizen stands his ground, his staff beginning to glow. A massive arc of pure energy slices through the air, cleaving the wind attack in two. The powerful magic dissipates harmlessly around him. Dominique can only stare from the ground, his face a mask of utter disbelief. Aizen turns, his expression unchanged. Dominique, are you okay? Still in shock, Dominique stammers, yes, Aizen-san, what exactly did you do just now? Aizen offers a slight smile. I just used a little magic. But internally, he knows the truth. He used prophecy magic, a power lost to this world, to momentarily rewrite reality and give his staff the ability to slice through the wind itself. He stands confidently, his staff still radiating power. For the first time, the senior spirit's stoic expression breaks, replaced by one of genuine surprise. Aizen begins to walk forward. Now, let's proceed like this. The spirit tests him, flicking its finger and sending small, concentrated blasts of wind at him. The projectiles are like magical bullets, but Aizen is unfazed. He advances steadily, his staff glowing. With casual, precise movements, he deflects every single blast. He parries the attacks with an ease that shouldn't be possible. The spirit's assault is completely neutralized as he closes the distance. Seeing her attacks fail, the spirit unleashes a wider barrage of projectiles. Suddenly, Rin is there, her twin blades a blur as she expertly deflects the storm of attacks aimed at Aizen. Dominique watches completely floored. Amazing. He can't believe their skill. Are you used to close combat? Rin answers brightly, never missing a beat. Yes, Dominique-san, Aizen-sensei's martial arts skill is also high. Despite their incredible display, Dominique's hope fades. But it's impossible to do more than this. What's impossible, he thinks. We can't do anything to that senior spirit, she's at a level only A-rank professions can fight. Aizen turns back to him, a knowing smile on his face. No, we don't have to fight her, Dominique. Dominique is baffled. He scrambles to protest. No way you want to talk with her, it's too dangerous. What if she doesn't have consciousness, or what if you upset her, we won't just be getting hurt. Aizen simply shrugs off the warning. Well, we'll deal with that if it happens, anyway I'll try it. Ignoring Dominique's pleas, Aizen walks calmly towards the immensely powerful being. He stops a few feet away and asks casually, hey, got a minute? The spirit seems taken aback by his audacity. She looks at him, a flicker of shock in her eyes. She touches her own throat, as if surprised she can even form a sound. A single word escapes her lips. You, Aizen nods, just as I thought she can communicate. He explains to the others this senior spirit has consciousness. Obviously her eyes show that she's sentient. The spirit glares, her voice low and menacing. Maybe. Dominique sees her expression and prepares for the worst. Is she upset? In case something happens, I'll hold her back and let the newcomers escape. Suddenly the spirit throws her head back in frustration. God, human language is so bothersome. If you don't use spirit language, I won't answer. Then her tone shifts entirely as she points a trembling finger at Aizen. You're the prophet Aizen, right? The one who defeated the evil gods, protected the spirit queen, and taught magic to the current spirit king. Aizen is completely blindsided. That's right. The spirit's entire demeanor flips. The terrifying entity is now a squealing fangirl. Kyaa, awesome to meet you here, I'm a big fan. Aizen can only ask, do you know me? Yes, of course, she gushes. You're famous in the spirit world. You're the hero who saved us all. Your magic movies are super popular. My senpai even knows the retired spirit emperor, and they always talked about a kind and powerful person who took care of everyone. Aizen is baffled. Famous? I've never heard this before. I defeated the evil gods, sure, but a hero. I was in a different world, I didn't even know about the spirit world. The spirit giggles. I was still half asleep and didn't notice you right away. It was like seeing a cat curled up to sleep. Aizen turns to Dominique, who is witnessing this bizarre exchange with a slack jaw. Aizen-san, what is this combination of high and low voices? Is this okay? Aizen smiles, completely at ease. Yes, she's friendlier than I thought, can you leave her to me? The senior spirit hovers before Aizen, her expression a mix of shock and excitement. As expected of Prophet Aizen, I heard our language was tough for humans because it's saturated with magic, but you're totally fluent. Aizen remains unfazed. Well, being a prophet is all about language, so I've got some skill. Now tell me, why are you kicking up this insane wind? She tilts her head, genuinely confused. Strong wind? You mean this little breeze I made to get the humans' attention? A knowing smile crosses Aizen's face. Yes, what's a breeze to you is a hurricane to us. He quickly pieces it together in his mind. If she really wanted to attack, she would have just thrown wind blades. The gap in perception between our species is massive. Aizen presses on to get our attention. What's going on? The spirit confirms that's right. Her expression turns serious as she points toward the woods. There are demon beasts that generate myasma in the forest ahead. This myasma is a toxic magical substance that strengthens demon beasts and is incredibly dangerous for humans and spirits to breathe. Aizen connects the dots, explaining that after the evil god was defeated, its flesh scattered across the world, creating these myasma hotspots. He continues, and there are demon beasts that ate those fallen pieces of flesh. The spirit nods in understanding. Right, that explains it. When a demon beast consumes the evil god's flesh, a grotesque, miasma-generating organ forms in its body, turning it into a living poison factory. She explains her mission from the Spirit King, to keep humans away from the danger, so I thought I'd create some gentle winds to warn people off. Aizen finally gets it. So that's why you created a tornado. Alright, tell me about this demon beast. She describes the target as a horned mole and its minions. They aren't particularly strong, but they keep hiding underground, and her wide area attacks are too imprecise to hit them. If the main one is defeated, the miasma will vanish, but she just can't land a clean shot. Meanwhile, Dominique watches the exchange, completely lost. Atisu-san is amazing. He's just casually chatting with a senior spirit. He can't understand a word of their conversation but decides, I'll just have to believe in Atisu-san. The spirit lets out a heavy sigh, touching her forehead. Dominique misreads her body language, thinking she's disappointed, and starts to panic internally. What was that gesture? Oh, I'm so nervous. But she's just frustrated. That's why I'm so tired. My attacks keep missing, so I was just taking a break. Aizen smirks, so that's why you were just loitering here. Seeing Dominique's distress, Rin steps in. She calmly reassures him, Dominique-san, please relax. If it's Aizen-sensei, he'll be able to work something out. As the powerful winds continue to rage around them, Aizen steps forward with a proposal. Alright, if that's the case, can you stop the wind for a bit? I'll handle the demon beast. The spirit is taken aback. Really? I'd be so grateful if you'd lend your power. Aizen smiles confidently. Of course, it's the best outcome for both humans and spirits. She agrees to his plan. Then I'll leave it to you, Prophet Aizen, but just in case you fail, I'll need to restart the wind, so I'll be watching from a distance. She adds with a smile, besides, I still want to talk with you some more. Well then, see you. Aizen nods, I get that, well then I'll take off for a while. With a grateful expression, she promises, thanks, when you succeed I'll definitely thank you properly. And with that the senior spirit ascends into the sky, leaving the group below. Dominique looks up, taking a deep breath as the gale force winds finally die down. He's completely stunned. I've never seen anyone deal with a senior spirit like that. As the last of the wind dissipates, the sky clears and a calm settles over the area. Dominique turns to Aizen, full of admiration. You really are amazing, Atisu-san, to make a senior spirit back down with words alone. With the wind spirit gone, the forest is finally calm. Aizen turns to the others with a knowing smile. I didn't drive it away, he explains. The senior spirit is leaving things to us. Dominique, Rin, and Aizen stand together in the clearing, as Aizen begins to lay out the situation. Now I'll explain what's going on. Dominique scratches his head, embarrassed. So the senior spirit was just protecting us? I thought it was attacking. Seems I jumped to conclusions too fast, I'm sorry. Aizen reassures him, well, it's still dangerous for humans, so you weren't entirely wrong. Dominique manages a relieved smile. When you say it like that, it makes me feel a little better, thanks. Getting down to business, Dominique asks, so monsters are ranked 2, huh? The opponent is a horned mole, right? That one's ranked at difficulty level D. Yes, that demon beast is strong, Dominique continues, explaining the threat level. But demon beasts empowered by myasma are 1 rank higher. That means the boss generating the myasma is equivalent to a C rank. Both of you are C rank, so you're at the proper level to fight it, but... He places a hand on his chest, offering his help. I'll help too, Atisu-san. It's a ferocious opponent, so we don't know what to expect. I was the one who selfishly decided to do this, and I've been leaving everything to you. I want to help out a little. Aizen laughs, accepting the offer. Are you sure? Thanks. Well then, let's do this together. Rin looks on, a silent exclamation on her lips. As the boys talk strategy, Rin stands apart, her gaze fixed on the dense woods ahead, sensing something is off. Then do you know where they are? Dominique asks. Aizen smirks. Yes, she told me where to find them. They're up ahead. There's no need for us to search. Just then Rin draws her sword with a sharp sound. Looks like we don't have to wait, she says, her eyes narrowed. It's just as Aizen-sensei said. A massive, shadowy figure emerges from between the trees, its form monstrous and unsettling. It's a horned mole, larger than any they've seen, and it's not alone. 2 more crawl out from the undergrowth, their claws tearing at the earth. The one in the rear is the boss, Aizen states calmly. Dominique watches them approach. The wind has stopped, so they're coming straight for us. Underestimating the threat, Dominique cracks his knuckles and dashes forward. Right, 3 C-rank monsters. If it's just this, I can defeat them myself. But before he can get far, Aizen's hand clamps down on his arm, stopping him dead in his tracks. Wait, Dominique. Dominique turns, shocked. Why, Atisu-san, we have to defeat them without letting any escape, or the spirit will just start the wind up again. Aizen looks past the 3 moles into the clearing, his expression serious. He lightly taps the ground with the butt of his staff, and there's more below. Dominique can only let out a confused, eh. Suddenly, the ground beneath their feet begins to rumble violently. The clearing erupts as dozens of horned moles burst from the earth, a tide of claws and teeth. The trio is instantly surrounded. Dominique stares in disbelief. Horned moles, there's at least 20 of them. Aizen frowns, realizing the spirit's information was incomplete. She didn't say there were this many. The myasma must have caused them to reproduce. The new ones are a bit smaller. Dominique's face hardens with the grim reality. Myasma can accelerate their reproduction, but even the young ones are as strong as adults. We're facing 20 C-rank horned moles. He quickly points to the largest beast in the back. Atisu-san, fighting this many is suicide. We only need to take out the boss that's generating the myasma. As long as we stop the myasma, the rest should calm down. Aizen considers the new plan. Really? Well, it's not so bad if we only have to deal with the one. But their enemies aren't waiting for them to strategize. The horde begins to creep forward, closing the circle. Dominique watches them advance, his hope fading. But well, it looks like that's impossible. Rin grips her sword tightly. That's right, they're not hesitating at all. Since we're not spirits, do they just see us as a tasty snack? Sweat beads on Dominique's brow as he steels himself. Anyways, don't get distracted. They may look like big moles, but remember, they're high-difficulty demon beasts. The horde pauses, a low growl rumbling through the clearing as they prepare to charge. Aizen's expression is grim, his eyes locked on the enemy. They're coming, Dominique, Rin. A horde of monstrous horned moles stampedes through the forest, charging straight for the adventurers. Aizen and Rin stand composed, but Dominique is sweating, shocked by the sheer size of the wave of monsters. He thinks to himself, they're all charging at once, it's just as Otis-san anticipated. Did he read their movements? No, there's something more important to focus on right now. Dominique quickly gathers his resolve, focusing his energy as light magic swirls around his hands. He thrusts his hands forward, unleashing a spell. Junior Spirit Skill, Spirit Light Bullet. A volley of light projectiles erupts, streaking towards the charging beasts. The bullets find their mark, blasting several of the horned moles off their feet. But the horde is relentless, swarming past their fallen comrades without slowing down. They are fast, Dominique exclaims. One of the moles breaks through the magical barrage, its fangs bared. It leaps directly at Dominique, who can only throw his arms up in a desperate attempt to defend himself. But before the creature can land a blow, Rin appears in a flash, her weapon deflecting the attack with a shower of sparks. Oops, that was dangerous, Dominique says, shaken. Rin glances back, asking, "You okay?" "Yes," he replies, "it was about to penetrate my arm." Their moment of relief is cut short by another threat. Rin's eyes widen as she spots a mole lunging at Eizen from behind. "Atisusan, behind you." In a blur of motion, two powerful slashes cut through the air. Eizen and Rin move in perfect sync, fighting back to back as they carve through the monsters surrounding them. Eizen gives Rin a grateful smile. "Ah, thanks, Rin." She smirks confidently. "Don't worry, Sensei was also aware of that and was able to deal with it alone." As he cuts down another mole, Eizen insists, "You still did it for me, I thank you." Rin giggles, clearly enjoying the battle. "Fufufu, I really like Sensei's seriousness." Watching her fluid movements, Dominique is stunned. Rin-chan, you can even do close combat like that." Rin casually dispatches another monster. "Yes, more or less." She looks over her shoulder at Dominique. "So, leave the nearby enemies to me." With most of the horde defeated, the remaining moles begin to back away cautiously. Eizen observes, "Well, it may not be needed anyways." From the rear of the pack, a massive boss-horned mole emerges, its body shrouded in a sinister dark miasma. Despite its intimidating presence, the boss creature hesitates, pawing at the ground nervously. Eizen analyzes the situation. Looks like they're on alert, they're hesitating to approach. The boss in the rear looks like it wants to run away. He turns to his companions, his decision made. "It seems I have to do it at once before they escape." Eizen hefts his staff, gathering an immense amount of power. "To the atmosphere I entrust you my words. Holy, gather and become a blade." He leaps into the air, swinging his staff with incredible force. Gusty slice. A colossal blade of wind energy is unleashed, tearing through the forest. The remaining moles, including the boss, are caught directly in its path. The massive energy wave slices them all in half instantly. In the aftermath, the clearing is silent, littered with the bisected bodies of the entire monster horde. Dominique stares in utter disbelief at Eizen's overwhelming power. "Amazing, I have never seen such a strong magic." As the dark miasma dissipates, the bodies of the slain moles begin to crumble into dust. The source of the corruption has been completely eradicated. Eizen looks on with a calm smile. The source of miasma should be destroyed by this. Dominique is still reeling. That was more powerful than the tornado the senior spirit made. Even a B-rank magician can't shoot such magic. He turns to Eizen, his voice filled with awe. "Oh, Atisusan, where did you learn that magic? What textbook did you learn it from?" Eizen gives a knowing smile. "It's a reasonably strong magic, so I understand the question. That magic is something I came up with a long time ago." He explains the basic techniques were learned from ancient prophets, from voices in the houses they lived in, or from skill books collected by the retired spirit emperor. "From there I made improvements and arrangements. When I tried various things, an inner voice came out and I learned from that." Dominique is completely floored. "I see, you're an outrageous person. To improve your skills and magic by yourself is something not even an A-rank professional does. I'm starting to see you as a true master." Just then a voice calls out from the edge of the woods. "Hey, you adventurers." The party turns in surprise towards the sound. A man in farmer's overalls approaches and gives them a deep, respectful bow. He looks up with a beaming, grateful smile. "On this occasion, thank you for saving my ranch and farm." "Ah, so you're this land's owner," Eizen says. The farmer nods and Eizen continues. "I reported the abnormalities to the guild and the university and asked them to deal with it." The farmer replies, "I see, so you reported it to two places. It costs money, but it is more certain that way. But there weren't just spirits, there were hordes of demons. I'm really glad that you guys are here." As he speaks, Dominique rubs his tired eyes. The fatigue of the battle suddenly hits Eizen, and he stumbles forward. Rin quickly steadies him. "Are you okay?" she asks, concerned. "I am sorry," Eizen manages to say. Dominique sighs. "Looks like I've used too much magic. Even though you two are still energetic, I look so pitiful." The farmer smiles kindly. "You don't have to worry about that. The degree of fatigue varies from person to person." "That's right, everyone. In that case, would you like to eat my crops?" "Crops?" Rin asks. The farmer explains enthusiastically. "Yes, they have a specialty that has an effect to restore magic power, so I would like to treat you with that as well." Eizen's face lights up at the offer. "Then, I really want to eat it. Everyone can rest well like that." The farmer is overjoyed. "Oh, I'm glad. Then my house is near here, so please rest there and enjoy." He leads them to his quaint farmhouse nestled in the countryside. Soon the group is enjoying a delicious meal. Don't mention it, the farmer says warmly, this is my way of thanking you. Eisen smiles contentedly. Thanks, it was a feast, it's my first experience to be grateful for being an adventurer. After eating, Dominique stands up. Then, you two were using more magic power than me so you can take your time, I'll be going back first to report. He heads for the door, adding, if you report early, the request fee will be added a little. I'm not doing anything after all, so please let me do this at least. The sun shines brightly in the sky. Rin smiles at Eisen. Well, we can take our time to return. Eisen agrees, you're right, sensei, the sun is still high above so there's no need for us to be in a hurry. They wave goodbye as Dominique heads off from the farmhouse. You're right, Dominique-san has also become energetic, Rin comments. Eisen adds, however, the magical recovery effect on the improved varieties of vegetables and fruits is quite high. I was able to recover as much as a lower-level potion does just by eating one meal, he muses. Speaking of which, I received a letter before from a disciple who gladly wrote that he had become a farm master by developing and improving crops that restore magic. The seeds of the crop are distributed to several farmers, Eisen explains. It is said that they are being researched, cultivated, and spread by each company. As they walk, Eisen reflects, even though I know that, there is an exhilarating feeling about taste and recovery amount that I couldn't know without experiencing it. It is interesting. I'm looking forward to my next trip too. Suddenly, Rin gasps. The book embedded in Eisen's staff has begun to glow brightly. Her eyes light up with excitement. Ah, if it's showing this reaction, it must be. She points at the staff. The book on the cane looks like it's reacting to something, right? Eisen looks at the pulsing light. Yes, maybe, I left my power around here as well. The staff's light points directly at a large stone in the middle of the field, which begins to glow in response. A column of pure energy erupts from the stone. Eisen's eyes narrow in recognition, so it's in that stone. They stand before the glowing artifact. It's a thankful event to be able to find my power after we succeed at the job, Eisen says with a smile. Rin agrees enthusiastically, you're right, sensei. On Eisen's staff, the book at its crest begins to glow with an intense light, ancient text materializing on its surface. The seal is authorized and released. With a flash, the book's pages fly open, revealing its contents. Rin looks on in amazement. It's incredible that you can regain the power of the prophet so quickly, Eisen-sensei. Eisen smiles calmly. Well, it's just a coincidence. To think I'd find a fragment of the power I scattered in a place like this. Leaning in, Rin asks with excitement, so what kind of power did you get back this time? A page in the book glows, displaying its new ability. Eisen reads the text, a pleased look on his face. It seems the area that my prophecies can cover has grown. Rin's eyes sparkle. Whoa, the prophet's power increased even more. I've never seen you in your prime, sensei, so I'm super excited to see what you can do. As they walk back towards town, Eisen reflects on their success. We finished the job, had a great meal, and I even got some of my power back. A total win. Let's head home. Rin cheers, Roger that, sensei. They soon arrive back at the headquarters of the Global Guild. The moment they step inside, the guild receptionist spots them, her face lighting up with relief and joy. Oh, you're back, both of you. As they enter the main hall, the entire guild turns to stare. Hey, it's the party that completed the biggest task of the day, one adventurer exclaims. The receptionist beams, yes, I'm so glad I get to witness the birth of a new hero. Just then, Dominique rushes over to them. Ah, Oda-san, you came back at a good time. Eisen looks confused. A good time, what do you mean? Dominique grins, I just finished reporting the results of our request. The receptionist turns to them, her expression filled with worry. Are you too injured? Dominique reported that you completed the request without taking any damage. Eisen reassures her, yes, we're completely fine, not a single injury. Rin proudly adds, not even a scratch. Dominique sighs in relief. Is that so? That's good. The receptionist lets out a relieved smile, but a hint of concern remains. Eisen picks up on it. You still look worried, what's going on? She leans in, lowering her voice. Actually, after your party left. We received a report from the Magic University about this request, she continues gravely. They detected a reaction, suggesting demon beasts were in the area. Eisen's eyes widen in realization. Now that you mention it, the landowner said he'd also sent a request to the Magic University. Yeah. The receptionist explains that while the guild and the university work together, sometimes information sharing doesn't happen smoothly, and this request was one of those times. She elaborates on the dire situation. If there were miasma-clad horned moles there on top of the spirit, the request's difficulty would be above B rank, and to make matters worse, the spirit was identified as an elder spirit. The entire guild was about to scramble a rescue party for you three, she admits. That's why it's so hectic in here. She gestures to a proud-looking Dominique. And then Dominique returned unharmed from that same dangerous place, causing a huge uproar right before you walked in. Aizen glances around at the buzzing crowd, finally understanding the tension in the room. Is that so? The other adventurers watch them, their faces a mix of shock and awe. The receptionist looks at Aizen, her eyes shining with admiration. Aizen-san, Dominique told us you encountered an elder spirit, calmed her down and stopped the tornado, right? Aizen thinks to himself, well, I did stop the tornado. The adventurers start whispering amongst themselves. He just casually says he calmed down an elder spirit. Another adds, and that guy is really just a C rank? Amazing. Aizen continues his internal monologue. Calmed down, the spirit wasn't even on a rampage. Anyone who could talk to her would have found it just as easy. The receptionist, unaware of his thoughts, clasps her hands together. Aizen-san, to resolve a situation like that is truly incredible. Her voice carries across the hall. You succeeded in something a C-rank adventurer couldn't possibly deal with. She explains the guild has detectives who can verify reports, so we know Dominique was telling the truth, but for so many unbelievable things to happen at once, I'm just stunned. Aizen replies awkwardly, talking with spirits and fighting monsters is just something I've done for a long time. It seems the job was judged as being much harder than I found it. Later, they are brought into a private office to finalize the report. The receptionist bows deeply. I am so sorry for this request. I sent you into a situation far more dangerous than what was reported. Aizen waves his hand dismissively. No, it's all right. You found out about the true danger later, so it can't be helped. He adds with a reassuring smile, besides, the monster extermination was my own decision. It's not something you need to apologize for. Looking up with gratitude, she says, hearing you say that puts my heart at ease. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for completing such a difficult job. She then informs them because of the circumstances the reward has been increased. It will take a little time to prepare. Aizen perks up. Increased. She beams, yes, it's a special case and the guild's top brass approved it. We can only offer more money, but I hope you'll accept it. Back in the main hall, Dominique joins them. Aizen turns to him, smiling. They increased the reward. Dominique, what exactly did you tell them? Dominique crosses his arms proudly. Nothing special, I just reported what I saw. That thanks to your party the whole thing was resolved in no time. I'm just glad I still get paid after acting on my own. Aizen tries to recall the original terms. The compensation was 15,000 gold for the three of us, right? How much did it go up? The original plan was to split the 15,000 gold, with 5,000 for each of them. Dominique notes that even their original 10,000 gold share was more than enough to live comfortably for a month. He then reveals the big news. I negotiated with them about all the extra work you did, and the total amount was increased tenfold. Aizen is stunned. Tenfold, you mean 150,000 gold. Dominique nods, though he still thinks it's not enough. Dealing with an elder spirit is normally a high-level request from a whole town or country. It's frankly awkward that this is all we can offer. Rin gasps, no, don't worry about it. A tenfold increase is a ton of money. Aizen smiles gratefully. In that case, I'll be glad to accept it. He then turns to Dominique. Are you okay with splitting the reward with us? But Dominique shakes his head. No, I don't need the additional reward, it's all yours. Dominique explains his reasoning. All I did was guide you there. Even the original 5,000 gold is too much for that. You resolved everything, so you should take the full reward. Aizen presses, are you really okay with that? Dominique is firm. If you don't accept it, I'll just forfeit my share to the guild. Seeing he won't budge, Aizen relents. Then I'll gladly receive it this time. But on one condition, Aizen continues with a friendly smile. After this, let me treat you to a meal or some sake. I won't feel right accepting it otherwise. Dominique's face lights up. Otis-san, you sure know how to make an offer. In that case, I'll gladly join you. And so the three head to a lively tavern to celebrate. Please, eat and drink as much as you want, Aizen announces. This is to celebrate our first completed request together. The night passes. The next day, at the Southern Magic University Branch School, news of the previous day's incident has arrived. Inside a lavish office, filled with magical artifacts and books, a young woman named Eureka enters, carrying a thick stack of documents. President Mel, this is the report from the Global Guild. The woman at the desk, President Mel, looks up with a knowing smile. Thank you, Eureka. I see you brought the report again this time. Mel remarks, now that you're no longer a student, I rarely get to see you. You know you could just make an official appointment. Eureka smiles sweetly. And take away opportunities for current students to speak with you? I couldn't, but if I get more work like this, I'll be sure to visit often. Mel thinks to herself how useful Eureka is, with her deep connections to both the guild and the university. Eureka notices the president staring at her. What is it, President Mel? You're looking at me in a funny way. Mel quickly recovers. Ah, it's nothing. I was just thinking your hair is as shiny and beautiful as ever. Eureka chuckles. I'm glad you think so. Just like when I was your student, I bet you're thinking you want to touch it, but you still can't, okay? Mel explains the tradition. For me, as one who inherited the blood of the Jewel People, letting someone touch my hair is a special act. Eureka nods. The Jewel People, the ancient clan that communed with spirits, right? Mel's hair seems to shimmer with its own light. Magical power dwells within it, so I can't let just anyone touch it. There are traditions and blessings placed upon it, she continues. I can only allow those I truly acknowledge to touch it. Eureka adds, a magical blessing protects it. Anyone who tries to touch it without permission will be repelled. Almost no one has ever touched your hair, have they? Mel confirms with a sly smile. You're right, only those with magical power greater than my own or those to whom my heart gives permission can break this blessing. She looks at Eureka pointedly. If you want to touch it, you'll need to keep honing your alchemist skills. Even the 100 heroes couldn't touch it easily. Eureka's eyes burn with determination. I see, then I will work hard. Mel's attention finally turns to the documents in her hand. She reads the title aloud, Myasma and Spirit Simultaneous Occurrence Incident Report. A spark of interest flashes in her eyes. So this is the report on yesterday's incident. I was quite curious to see how it was resolved. In her office, President Mel pores over a new incident report. The request says there were senior spirits and monsters involved. Luckily no one was hurt, she reads, a small measure of relief in the otherwise troubling news. She sighs, frustrated. If the information reached us just a little bit faster, this whole thing could have been prevented. The cooperation between the city and the university still needs a lot of work. Eureka stands before the president's desk. The systems and tools you developed with the 100 heroes are incredibly useful, but it'll take some time for everyone to adapt. She offers a warm, reassuring smile. Still, life is so much easier and safer because of you. The things you've created help us all the time. Thank you, President. Mel looks away, a nostalgic memory surfacing. But most of the things I did back then were with guidance from my master, back when I was his disciple. Eureka's eyes light up with recognition. Oh, you mean the master of the heroes, right? A silhouette of a younger Mel with her master Eizen flashes through her mind. Yeah, she says softly, I learned so much from him. Now that I'm president, I have to be the master for others just like he was for me. Eureka looks on admiringly. The president's role model, huh? I would love to meet him someday. A wistful smile plays on Mel's lips. You're right, I'd like to meet him again too, really badly. Shaking off the memories, Mel turns back to her paperwork. Right, I have to concentrate on my work. But as she flips a page, her eyes catch a detail that makes her freeze. Wait a second. She reads the line again, her eyes widening in disbelief. Someone with C rank defeated the demon beast and drove away the high spirit. Mel shoots up from her chair. What? That's impossible. A C rank can't be a spiritualist. A senior spirit can't be driven off that easily unless it's me or the head of security. Eureka chimes in. By the way, my subordinates were talking about some rumors today. It seems a ridiculously strong spirit and magic user has appeared in town. Mel sits back down, processing the new information. So he probably has some serious magic skills. Rank is just a measure of raw magical power. It's not influenced by ability or talent. A sly, intrigued smile spreads across her face. If you're that good, you need to be properly introduced. Maybe I should pay a visit to the city soon. Her attention snaps back to another section of the report. But this is urgent. The number of demon beasts is increasing because of the myasma. Eureka adds grimly, the omnivorous horned moles are a huge problem. They're devouring so much that the supply of alchemical materials has been drastically reduced. On top of that, Mel continues, they also eat the food of other monsters. Eureka gestures, illustrating the chain reaction. Exactly. With their food source gone, other demon beasts will start moving into human territory to find something to eat, and the risk of encounters is going to skyrocket. Mel taps a bundle of reports on her desk. A smart demon beast will aim for humans who can use magic. I need to be careful. The two women reach an understanding. The information sharing between the town and the university had to become more effective, starting now. A few days later, in that very same city, Eizen and Rin were enjoying a walk around town, taking in the sights. But their simple sightseeing trip quickly turned into an unexpected adventure. Suddenly, a grotesque, multi-eyed demon beast erupts from the foliage, its slimy tongue lashing out. Eizen doesn't even flinch. With a simple gesture, he levitates his staff and a dozen sharp rocks from the ground. He unleashes a volley of magical projectiles, peppering the beast with pinpoint accuracy. With the demon beast defeated just as quickly as it appeared, Eizen gives Rin a confident smile. The monster collapses, its hunt brought to an abrupt and decisive end. After their little skirmish, they sell the magic stones from the beast to an alchemy company, turning a dangerous encounter into a profitable afternoon. The next morning at their inn, the alchemist's garden. Eizen looks up from a letter having finished his business in town. I've seen all the spots mentioned in this letter. He turns to Rin, who's looking over a map. Rin, let's leave the city this afternoon. She beams. All right, sensei, I really enjoyed this city. Where are we headed next? Aizen sips his tea thoughtfully. Maybe we should go south this time. There are plenty of towns on the way to the big cities, so the roads should be well maintained. Is there anywhere you want to go, Rin? Rin gives him a bright, unwavering smile. This isn't really an answer, but I want to go to the places that you want to go to, sensei, so let's go south. Aizen's expression softens. Ah, you want to see Mel-san? On our way south, I want to stop by the university. She must be very busy, but I think it'll be okay to just see how she's doing. Rin gently teases him. Sensei, you're always worrying about someone. People are always asking me. Aizen-sensei is so strong, yet he's always so attentive to others. Why? She continues with a proud little smile, and I told them, he is a sensei, that's why. And they said, that's somewhat understandable. Aizen chuckles, pleased. Did they really say that? It would be great if I could get along with the people of the town. With their plan set, Aizen stands up. If we've decided, then let's go and greet Eureka, then prepare for our departure, and get ready to see my disciple's face. Rin eagerly agrees, of course. At the lavish alchemist garden, Aizen and Rin approach the reception desk to meet with President Eureka. The receptionist recognizes him immediately, saying, Aizen-san, I was told to contact you directly, please wait just a moment. Aizen, taking it in stride, turns to Rin. Okay, in that case let's have another cup of tea. Rin smiles, sounds great. They settle in to wait, a steaming cup of tea on the table between them. Suddenly, a distinguished man with a monocle approaches their table. I'm sorry to keep you waiting, Aizen-sama, Rin-sama. Aizen looks up, a flash of recognition in his eyes. The man introduces himself. Yes, I'm the president's secretary. You were here earlier with Eureka, right? He then delivers the bad news. The president is currently on her way to the Magic University. She won't be back until tomorrow. Oh, I see, Aizen replies, understanding the situation. The secretary bows his head, I'm very sorry. But he quickly offers a solution. However, I was told I can go to the university if I have business there. If you like, I can guide you there myself. My apologies for the inconvenience. Aizen leans forward, accepting the generous offer. In that case, may you take us there. The secretary gives a warm, knowing smile. It will be my pleasure. He leads them outside where a carriage is already waiting. It will take less than an hour to get there, he explains. Aizen is grateful, but the secretary waves it off. Preparing something like this is no big deal for a patron of our president. Meanwhile, at the Grand Magic University, a group of students enters an office. They report to their superior. Preparations for the evening course are completed. The magic speaker setup is also perfect. Sitting at the desk is the university president, Mel, one of the legendary 100 heroes. You did it faster than I thought, she notes. There's still some time before it starts. The students are buzzing with excitement. It's been a while since you're giving a lecture, President. The auditorium already has more than 30 people. We can't wait. Eureka, standing beside her, remarks, well, it seems President Mel is still as popular as she was in her student days. Mel smiles gently. I'm just glad there are so many motivated children now as in the past. Their conversation is cut short by a knock. President, a report from the watchtower, Eureka announces. The captain of the university guard, a formidable woman in full plate armor, steps forward. We've caught strange fluctuations of magic power on the plains to the south, she reports urgently. However, we can't see details with our observation tools. Would you like to see it yourself, President? Mel turns to the window, her expression thoughtful. South, I should be able to see it from here. Shall we check it? The guard captain nods in approval. If you would, please, I will go now and check on security. Without another word, Mel strides over and pushes open the window. She gazes out at the university grounds. There's a magical barrier around the university and no abnormalities were found, she thinks to herself, but there's no harm in checking personally. Staff in hand, Mel's demeanor shifts. The gentle president is gone, replaced by the powerful hero. A brilliant aura of magical energy erupts around her as she begins her incantation. Magic detection, and now threat. She stands poised at the open window, ready to unleash her power. The tip of her staff condenses into a blindingly bright point of light. In an instant, a massive pulse of magical energy blasts outwards from the university. The wave of pure mana washes over the plains, a visible ripple expanding for miles in every direction. Eureka watches from behind, completely starstruck. Wow. She can't hide her amazement. I have never seen a magic detection spell with such a range. It's supposed to drain a lot of power, but she shows no fatigue at all. The president's skills are truly amazing. Mel turns back with a calm smile. Is that so? This was one of my regular tasks during the war with the evil god, so I can use it normally now. Eureka is practically glowing. It's so beautiful and clean, I could look at it continuously. Mel chuckles as she looks back out at the now empty plains. Despite all that praise, it looks like there's nothing coming out, But then something impossible happens. The grass on the seemingly empty field begins to press down, as if crushed by colossal, invisible footsteps. Suddenly, a ghostly, monstrous silhouette shimmers into existence, towering over the university itself. The spell didn't fail, it revealed a threat far larger and closer than anyone could have imagined. President Mel casts a wide-range detection spell, its magic sweeping across the vast plains surrounding the university. She watches from her window as the spell expands, covering the entire area. Beside her, Eureka looks on in awe. "Your master, you mean the prophet, right? Is he really stronger than you, President?" Mel replies. "In terms of simple detection, yes, he's on another level." A memory flashes through Mel's mind of her standing beside her master, Eizen. "He can hear the voices of everything around him," she explains. "It's like he has eyes everywhere." Eureka is amazed. "Whoa, so he's like some super spiritualist who can talk to the earth and plants," Mel just chuckles. "Not even the most brilliant spiritualist can communicate with spirits they can't see." Eureka looks confused. "Really? Not even with the low-class spirits out here in the fields?" "Yes, it's normally impossible," Mel confirms. "Even for the 100 heroes who can speak the spirit language. Besides, most weak spirits can't even form a language." Eureka is still trying to wrap her head around it. I see, then, what about that person?" Mel smiles cryptically. "Let's just say it's not impossible for the prophet to be a pro at it." Eureka ponders the incredible power of the prophet. Suddenly Mel's calm demeanor shatters. Her eyes widen as her spell picks up something. Far below, out in the open field, the air itself seems to ripple with a strange energy. Her magic detection spell flares to life, highlighting multiple points of energy that form the outline of a massive, unseen figure. The silhouette begins to solidify. "Eureka, you see that right?" Mel asks, her voice tense. Eureka stammers, "Why yes, that's a magic reaction, isn't it?" The air shimmers and tears apart as a monstrous form begins to materialize from nothing. A pair of sharp horns and glowing, malevolent eyes are the first things to appear from the distortion. With a final shudder, a massive, horned ogre-like beast stands fully revealed, its sheer presence warping the space around it. From a distant watchtower, the guard captain's eyes go wide with terror. A titan ogre. Eureka's face drains of color. A titan ogre? You mean the A-grade demon beast known for its insane regeneration and physical power? Mel stares grimly at the beast now, standing on university grounds. "It's at least 4 meters tall," she mutters. "How did it get so close without the watchtower spotting it? It must have hidden its body, but what magic did it use?" As its leg flickers, becoming partially transparent, the horrifying answer clicks. Mel's eyes widen in disbelief. Eureka gasps, "Don't tell me. Invisible, isn't that one of the evil god's signature spells?" "But demon beasts shouldn't be able to learn that kind of magic, right?" Eureka asks, panicked. "Exactly," Mel replies. "It's a troublesome spell that requires both magic detection and perception to even notice." Mel's eyes narrow. According to research, Titan ogres are only capable of earth magic, but this one is using Invisible, a light interference spell. It must have learned it somehow. "When a demon beast eats the flesh of the evil god," Mel explains, "the myasma can cause them to evolve, granting them the evil god's own twisted abilities." The horrifying implication dawns on Eureka as she stares at the monster. "So, you're saying that demon beast has been evolved?" The Titan ogre clenches its massive, clawed hand. It raises its arm, flexing its terrifying power. "It cancelled Invisible," Mel observes. "It's intelligent, it knows we've detected it." Then a worse thought strikes her. Wait a second, this Titan ogre, if it learned one of the evil god's spells, maybe it learned others. As if on cue, the Titan ogre raises its fist to the sky. Massive, jagged crystal shards materialize out of thin air, crackling with dark energy. Its eyes glow with malice as it roars out the name of its attack, Evil Crystal Cannon. With a monstrous heave, it launches the crystal barrage directly at the university building. The crystals slam into the structure, triggering a series of massive explosions. The entire building collapses in an instant, throwing Mel and Eureka out into the open air, as the world erupts in fire and debris. The Titan ogre stands triumphant over the smoldering ruins. Amidst the dust and rubble, the survivors begin to stir. Eureka coughs, pushing herself up. President Mel, are you all right?" Mel gets to her feet, wincing. "I'm fine, my foot just hurts a bit. What about you? That was a long fall." She looks at the devastation, a massive crystal embedded in the wreckage. Good grief, to launch such a powerful attack without any warning, really. Her mind races. Eureka and I were the only ones in my lab. I have wards that tell me if anyone enters, but what about the other buildings? Just then the guard captain lands amidst the debris. "President, are you all right?" Mel turns to her. "Yes, give me a status report. Are you aware of the situation?" "Yes," the captain says grimly. "I've already informed the guards of each department. Presently 2 of our buildings have collapsed." Mel's heart sinks. "2, you mean this one, and the auditorium near the center was destroyed." Her face pales as she imagines the students inside. "The auditorium, are the students safe?" The captain holds up a piece of crackling rubble. "Thanks to the defensive magic you cast on the buildings, no one was directly hit by the detonation. The students who failed to escape were trapped alive under rubble, but the life-saving magic is active, so they surely won't be crushed to death. Mel breathes a sigh of relief. That's good news. She had personally overseen the enchantment of every building, a spell that creates emergency shields and turns deadly rubble into a protective shelter for anyone trapped. But the danger is far from over. The Titan ogre takes a heavy, earth-shaking step towards the ruins. However, if we don't make our move now, Mel thinks this'll become dangerous. He's going to devour us. Drool drips from the monster's maw as it looms over them, its eyes filled with hunger. The guard captain confirms Mel's fears. Is that a Titan ogre clad in myasma? Mel nods. Yes, it evolved. Now it's able to use the evil god's magic. Furthermore, it seems it is in a starved state, Mel continues. There's a lot of people here, so it's very probable it chose this place as its feeding ground. The guard captain holds up a magic communication device. How are we gonna proceed, President? I'm already on standby to relay your orders to all the employees. Mel gestures to the device, her mind already formulating a plan. She takes command, her voice ringing with authority. To all ordinary staff, you're in charge of the students' rescue and evacuation. To the guards, you are going to work together with me to attract the Titan ogre's attention. Relay this state of emergency to Pioneer City. Use signal fire magic or letters to contact powerful adventurers. Until then, we're going to buy some time. As the monstrous Titan ogre stomps closer, President Mel turns to her disciple, Eureka. With a calm smile, Mel gives her orders. I would be grateful if you could help them rescue the students. Your skills with alchemic medicine will be invaluable, she explains, but Eureka looks worried. President Mel, what about you? Eureka's mind races. A normal Titan ogre requires at least 10 A-rank adventurers to take down, and this one's been supercharged by myasma. You don't have enough people, Eureka pleads, wanting to stay and fight, but Mel is firm. Eureka, your abilities are needed for the rescue. We have to prioritize the students, Mel insists. We will be fine here. The guard captain steps forward, sword drawn. We won't be defeated so easily. The transmission is complete. Seeing their resolve, Eureka finally relents. I understand. She turns and bolts towards the disaster zone, shouting over her shoulder, I'll come right back after evacuating the students. Watching her go, Mel lets out a sigh. Well, I was just trying to act cool like my master, but this is going to be tough. The key to defeating a Titan ogre is its immense regenerative ability, which can only be stopped by crushing the core in its heart. The beast lets out a deafening roar as dark, crystalline tendrils erupt from its back, its power swelling. The rattling of armor signals the arrival of reinforcements. The guard captain reports her security squad assembled and ready. President, the security squad is ready for battle. Facing the approaching monster, Mel grips her staff, a bead of sweat on her brow. We need to buy some time. Looks like you'll have to stay with us for a while, Titan ogre. Meanwhile, far from the university, a carriage rattles along a country road. Suddenly, a distant explosion catches the passenger's attention. Inside, Eizen and Rin are jolted. What is it? Rin points towards the horizon with alarm. Sensei, look over there. There's smoke rising into the air. The secretary driving the carriage looks up, his eyes widening in disbelief. Smoke signal magic? Impossible. That color is. Rin leans forward, concerned. What's going on, Mr. Secretary? Is there trouble? He brings the carriage to a halt, his face grim. That's an emergency signal, and that specific color. It means the university guards are being overwhelmed by a powerful demonic beast. The wheels grind to stop. The secretary turns to his passengers. I have something to ask of you too. He explains that while turning back is the safe option, his president is at the university. I heard that you are both highly ranked adventurers. And I want to go ensure our company president's safety. If possible, I want us to cooperate to solve the problem there. He bows his head deeply, his voice filled with desperation. I want to save the president and the university she holds so dear. Please, lend me your strength. Aizen watches him, a slight smile playing on his lips. He's truly an honest man. Rin whispers to Aizen, he could have just tricked us and driven straight there, but he didn't. She looks to her sensei for his decision. I feel the same way, Aizen-sensei. Aizen places a reassuring hand on the man's shoulder. Please raise your head, Mr. Secretary. Both Rin and I will gladly help you, he says with a confident smile. When a friend is in a pinch, we'll certainly cooperate. The secretary's face lights up with relief. Ah, thank you very much. With renewed purpose, the secretary cracks the reins. Then, let us hurry. It's going to shake a little, but please forgive me. The horse surges forward, kicking up dust. The carriage barrels towards the distant smoke plume. But as they get closer, Aizen realizes the urgency. Mr. Secretary, that smoke, we need to get there as soon as possible, right? The secretary nods grimly. Yes. Aizen's expression hardens. Then, Mr. Secretary will be leaving first. He turns to his companion. Rin, are you ready? She nods, determined. No problem. It would be faster if we depart here, Aizen declares. We'll go by foot, we'll leave our luggage in the carriage. The secretary looks back, utterly confused. What are you two going to? Before he can finish, they're already moving. In a flash, Aizen and Rin leap from the speeding carriage, leaving the secretary speechless. They land gracefully on the road. Aizen extends his hand, casting a spell. "Oh, atmosphere, please gently support the both of us." A gust of wind envelops them, and they take off at an incredible speed. They effortlessly blast past the horse and carriage. The world becomes a blur as they accelerate. "Thanks to the wind, we'll get there soon," Aizen says. Rin replies, "Yes." The secretary stares in utter disbelief. The favorable wind, both of them are riding the wind. They race across the landscape, the sounds of battle growing louder. "The abnormal situation at the university is continuing," Rin shouts. Aizen grits his teeth. "Indeed, let's hurry." Watching them vanish into the distance, the secretary is dumbfounded. Even though they're rearguard specialists, they're faster than a carriage. What is going on? Back at the university, Eureka directs the chaotic rescue effort. Gather the wounded at the shelter near the school gate, inform the staff where people are trapped. The center auditorium is a field of rubble, with rescuers desperately searching for survivors. A rescuer brings Eureka a student registry they found in the wreckage. "These are signatures from when they entered," he reports. "The numbers are accurate." Eureka scans the list. There were 40 in the auditorium. As another injured student is carried past, the rescuer updates her. "Including this one, we've already rescued 37 people." Her heart sinks as she looks at the remaining mountain of debris. There are still 3 students trapped under the rubble. Another distant explosion shakes the ground. Eureka clenches her fist. The president is still fighting. She climbs onto the wreckage and shouts, "If you are still conscious, please shout." Only silence answers. "As I thought, nobody is responding. Have they lost consciousness, or maybe they're too injured to shout? And with so many people around, my magic detection can't differentiate between the trapped and the rescuers." She stares at a massive pile of wooden beams, knowing the students are somewhere beneath it. With a desperate cry, she tries to lift a beam herself, straining with all her might. But it's no use, the beam doesn't budge. She stumbles back, defeated by the sheer weight of the destruction. Frustration and fear well up inside her. As long as there are students who can't evacuate, the president can't leave either. She glances towards the ongoing battle, feeling utterly powerless. The president is not a good match against that demonic beast. Her hands tremble. What should I do? I graduated from this university, built the #1 company in the city. I thought I'd grown stronger. But in this moment, all her achievements feel meaningless. If I can't rescue the students, I can't rescue Master either. What a pathetic situation. At her breaking point, Eureka cries out to the empty ruins, "Please, somebody, please help me." Suddenly a calm voice cuts through her despair. "Do you need any help?" Eureka looks up to see 2 figures standing atop the rubble. It's Aizen, his expression serene. "We'll help you." Eureka's eyes widen in shock and disbelief. "Why are you, Aizen-sama?" Aizen hops down. "I came to meet a friend at this university, however we have more urgent matters, right?" Eureka quickly agrees. "Why yes." A spark of hope ignites within her. If it's him, then maybe. She starts to explain. "I'll explain the situation. In the university a Titan ogre has," but Aizen calmly holds up a hand. "Ah, it's fine." He surveys the devastation. "About the situation, I already heard what's going on by listening to the surroundings." Eureka is confused. The surroundings." Aizen smiles confidently. "I know what I have to do. I'll rescue the students now." In the heart of the destruction, Aizen stands perfectly still, his body radiating a serene, powerful energy. He walks calmly through the treacherous rubble, his focus absolute. Stopping before a massive pile of debris, he looks to his companion Eureka and states with certainty, "It's here." Aizen raises his staff, his voice echoing with magical power. "O wind, please lift these up for me." In an instant, his magic takes hold, and tons of shattered wood and stone begin to float weightlessly into the air. Revealed beneath the levitating wreckage is an injured student. "There he is," Aizen says, his expression unchanged. After carefully pulling the boy from the ruins, Aizen turns to Eureka. "Ah, Eureka, please take care of this child." A stunned Eureka replies, "Why yes." She looks at him with gratitude and awe, exclaiming, "Thank you very much." But Aizen has already turned back to the disaster, his senses scanning for the next survivor. He identifies another unstable section. "Here is the next one. It's about to collapse, so I'll have to proceed carefully." Again he channels his power, and the debris begins to stir and lift. And just like before, another unconscious student is found buried within. Eureka watches, her mind racing. He already discovered 2 of them in such a short time. "How did you know where they were? I don't see any spirits here, so I don't think he's using their power to locate them." As if reading her thoughts, Aizen explains, "I told you I could hear voices like, 'The children are down there, so please help them.'" He gestures to the ruined structure around them. "It's the voice of this building, which was built for the purpose of protecting the students." Eureka struggles to comprehend. So you're saying, from the rubble from the things, you can hear their voices. Aizen confirms her impossible question. Isn't that what I've been saying since the beginning? It's faint, but there's a kind of emotion that remains in things that people build with care and love. His power begins to surge to an entirely new level. I am just able to understand the language made from these emotions. Now it's saying, this is the last one, so go on. Oh wind, please make the whole area float in the air. The ground trembles as an immense wave of magic erupts from Aizen. Eureka and the rescued students can only stare, their faces a mask of pure shock at the scale of his power. In a breathtaking display, the entire mountain of wreckage is lifted into the sky, revealing the very foundation of the building. There at the bottom of it all, the final student looks up, bloodied and weak. Gazing at the silhouetted figure holding the world above him, he whispers, "Gee God." Aizen smiles down warmly, "I am not a god, I am here to save you." A wave of relief washes over the student's face as he manages a weak smile. With the final survivor rescued, the others rush to carry him to safety. Eureka watches Aizen, her thoughts in a whirlwind. Incredible to find them this easily. This ability to communicate with things, it's beyond what a spiritualist should be capable of. Suddenly a memory clicks into place. I remember, the language professional President Mel was talking about, that's right, this person is. Her train of thought is broken as Rin runs towards them, waving. Sensei, I've helped evacuate the students, the evacuation is finished. Aizen nods, thank you Rin, then let's continue with our next job. Rin tilts her head, Aizen-sama. Eureka's eyes widen in alarm, by next job you mean. Aizen's expression hardens with resolve. That's right, from now on it's a personal matter for me as well, I have to go to where my disciple Mel is. The scene shifts to a chaotic battlefield, where the sounds of combat rage. A monstrous titan ogre swipes its claws, tearing through a knight's shield as if it were paper. The guard captain screams orders over the din. It pierced his shield, medical squad, quickly take care of him. Another guard steels himself, preparing to face the beast. But the ogre is too fast, too strong, and a brutal punch connects with devastating force. The monster's eyes are wild with bloodlust. The guard can only gasp what, as he's sent flying backward. The titan ogre stands amidst the fallen, an unstoppable force of nature. The captain gives a grim report to President Mel. Except for you, President, everyone in the magic squad was defeated by that last attack, only a few squads are unscathed. Mel acknowledges, we have suffered heavy damages. On the ogre's body, a minor wound steams and vanishes in an instant. But there is not a single scratch on its body. Mel watches the creature, her face tight with frustration. The ability to regenerate, good grief, I really despise it. The titan ogre roars, conjuring shards of ice from thin air as it announces its next attack, Evil Ice Blast. A deadly volley of ice projectiles shoots towards Mel and the remaining guards. The shards cut through the air with lethal speed. But Mel is prepared, a complex magic circle materializes before her, Combo Blaze Lance. From the circle, she unleashes a counter-barrage of pure fire. Fire and ice clash violently in midair. Mel's attack proves superior, shattering the ice shards into harmless fragments. The lances of fire continue onward, slamming into the titan ogre's chest and erupting in a massive explosion. The beast is momentarily engulfed in smoke and flames. But it emerges, snarling, almost completely unharmed. The battle is at a stalemate. Mel analyzes the situation. We only managed to make a little scratch on its forehead, but it's already healing. It's an endless loop, however, we're successfully buying time to get the students to safety. The ogre charges again. It's coming again, the captain yells. I know, Mel retorts, bracing herself. They both leap back, trying to create distance. Mel watches its movements intently. Who is it going to chase? In a terrifying burst of speed, the ogre closes the distance and appears right in front of her. It's using its own ice projectiles as footholds, hopping between them in midair. Mel realizes its tactic too late. It's making smart use of those ice balls to shorten the distance between us. She's caught in the monster's blitz attack. It's on her in a fraction of a second. The ogre clenches its massive fist, preparing a powerful blow. Mel tries to backpedal. It's preparing something, I have to widen the distance. The creature's hand transforms into a massive, jagged crystal club, evil crystal mass. Mel's eyes widen in terror. A stray shard from the attack's formation clips her side, breaking her concentration. The impact sends her stumbling across the battlefield. Blood drips from her lips as she tries to push through the pain. I'm fine thanks to the shield, I can still go on. But her strength fails her, and she collapses to one knee, facing the advancing monster. In that moment she knows she's finished. I can't cast the shield in time, looks like I'll have to take this attack head-on. Her final thoughts are of her failure. I wonder if the students have successfully evacuated, to think that I couldn't protect everyone or even myself. She closes her eyes with a sad, wry smile. Ah, damn, it really is difficult to act like master. Then a calm voice cuts through the chaos. I think you did quite well. Mel's eyes snap open. Her own staff has planted itself in the ground before her, glowing with an unfamiliar power. A command rings out, "Oh, my weapon, deploy a defense." The staff flies up to meet the ogre's attack head-on. An impenetrable barrier of light erupts, completely disintegrating the crystal weapon upon impact. Mel can only watch stunned, as the threat is neutralized. A figure walks past the shimmering fragments of the shattered attack. "You did a great job," the voice says. "You protected them till the end." Eizen places a hand on his disciple's shoulder, his expression full of pride. "You don't have to act like me. You've already accomplished greater things than me." Barely conscious, Mel looks up in disbelief, a single word escaping her lips. "Master." Standing over her is Eizen, his staff planted firmly in the ground, shielding her from the aftermath of the battle. He gives her a reassuring smile. "Ah, it has been quite a long time, Mel. You fought very well. To think you'd face a regenerating monster head-on despite your low stamina, I'm proud." Eizen helps his exhausted student to her feet. Mel touches her own face, still struggling to believe he's real. "A hallucination? I don't think so." "Of course," Eizen confirms gently. "I really am here, you know." Just then the guard captain rushes to the scene. "President Mel, are you okay?" Eizen hands Mel over. "You're the squad leader, right? I'll leave her in your care." Across the field, the Titan ogre watches them, its monstrous face locked in a silent glare. Eizen turns to face the beast and Rin appears at his side, ready for a fight. "Sensei, I'm fully prepared to support you," but Eizen has a different role for her. "In that case, Rin, please rescue the injured and help with everyone's evacuation." Rin nods with determination. "Okay, leave it to me. Yurika-san is making medicine in the rear. We are going to protect everyone." With that, she dashes off to help the wounded. Eizen watches her go, his gaze hardening. The girls will handle the rescue and evacuation, he thinks to himself, in that time. He steps forward, facing the hulking monster alone as it conjures massive shards of ice. "Then, I'm off. All I have to do is take care of you." The Titan ogre is surrounded by enormous, jagged crystals of ice, ready to be unleashed. Eizen analyzes the threat coolly. "My staff protected Mel from its ice bullets earlier. Is it preparing larger ones knowing that? It seems to be an intelligent beast." He addresses the monster with a casual air. "Well, Titan ogre, it's been a long time since I had a proper conversation with my disciple. Sorry, but I'll have you get the hell out of here." The only response is a low, guttural growl. The beast charges forward with a roar. "Looks like it can't talk," Eizen remarks dryly. He grips his staff with both hands. "In that case, I know what I have to do." Eizen drops into a combat stance, a confident smirk playing on his lips. "Titan ogre, I'm going to teach you the word defeat." From the sidelines, the guard captain watches in horror. "President, that man, a sorcerer, that's dangerous. A magic user shouldn't be fighting up close like that." He points frantically at Eizen. "He's holding a staff, so he's a sorcerer, right? Challenging that beast in close combat is suicide," but Mel remains perfectly calm. With a knowing smile, Mel reassures him. "Oh, the staff, don't worry, it's going to be all right, because that thing is not just a staff." As if to prove the captain's point, the Titan ogre swings its colossal ice club down on Eizen. The weapon descends with crushing force. But just as it's about to connect, a long, sharp blade extends from the head of Eizen's staff. With a metallic clang, Eizen effortlessly blocks the massive attack. "You're too slow, Titan ogre." His eyes narrow as he begins to chant. "Oh, my body, accelerate, instant strength." In a blur of motion, Eizen vanishes and reappears, severing the ogre's arm in a single, clean slice. The guard captain stares, completely dumbfounded. What is this speed? Even with magic reinforcement, that technique, the motion, it's beyond any close combat expert I've ever seen, Mel simply states. That's a given. Eizen moves like a phantom across the battlefield. Mel explains with pride in her eyes. "That person is a prophet. We learned magic and even close combat techniques from him. Master is way more powerful than us heroes, after all." Eizen lands gracefully as the ogre's severed arm is already beginning to regenerate behind him. The monster's eyes burn with fury. It unleashes a desperate counterattack, roaring, evil ice blast, and launching a volley of ice shards. Eizen remains unfazed, preparing his own skill. "Oh, my arm, swiftly cut everything up, Gale Slash." He spins into a whirlwind of steel, his blade a silver blur. The ice projectiles are shattered into dust before they can even get close. Breaking through the barrage, Eizen closes the distance in an instant. He unleashes a furious combo of slashes, carving deep wounds into the ogre's torso. And he's not letting up, there's still more. "Oh, my body, speed up furthermore." His assault intensifies, a relentless storm of attacks that leaves the monster reeling. The Titan ogre lets out a pained roar. It's forced to leap back, desperately trying to create some space. Steam pours from its wounds as its body struggles to heal. But under the constant barrage, its legendary regeneration is finally starting to fail. Eizen watches intently. So, with continuous attacks, its regeneration can't keep up. He assesses the situation. Still, what a massive body, my attacks just now couldn't reach its core. The ogre's hand morphs, forming a new, jagged crystal weapon. Eizen knows what he has to do. For my attacks to work, they need a piercing motion. The Titan ogre prepares to lunge, its new weapon ready. Eizen plants his feet, gathering an immense amount of power into his blade. Oh my body, accumulate even more strength. Energy swirls around his sword, making the air itself hum. As the ogre closes in, he continues his chant. Oh sharp slashing attacks, thrust ahead without end. He leaps high into the air, his blade glowing with blinding light, and unleashes his final skill, Doom's Judgment. Eizen brings his sword down, releasing a devastating wave of energy that tears through the battlefield. The attack slams directly into the Titan ogre's core, engulfing the monster in a cataclysmic explosion of light. On the battlefield, the guards and the captain stare in utter disbelief, their faces slick with sweat. Nearby, Rin and Eureka are equally stunned, but Mel simply watches with a tearful, relieved smile. She knew he would succeed. She always had faith in her master. Before them, the glowing core on the Titan ogre's chest finally cracks under the immense pressure of Eizen's attack. With a final groan, the colossal beast is perfectly bisected, its two halves dissolving into particles of light as Eizen stands calmly in the center of the destruction. As the monster's remains crash to the ground, the guards erupt into a massive cheer, celebrating their impossible victory. Eizen gives his staff a casual flick, returning it to its simple, unassuming form. Mel walks up to him, her voice filled with reverence. As expected of you, Master Sama, to think you defeated it so easily. But Eizen turns the praise back on her. You're the one who bought enough time for the students to be rescued, Mel. That's an amazing feat. Mel looks down, a faint blush on her cheeks. Master Sama, you are praising me. Of course I am, Eizen says with a warm smile. After all, you achieved your goal to protect your students. Mel thinks to herself, he is always like this, always praising you after you do a good job. A fond memory surfaces. It's always been that way, that's why all of us are so deeply attached to him, like spoiled children to their parents. His kindness has never changed. Looking up at him, Mel makes a bold request. Then, I know it may be selfish since you just saved me, but I'd like you to praise me the way you always did back then. Eizen looks momentarily confused, the way I used to do it, meaning. Then a gentle smile spreads across his face as he understands. He reaches out and softly pats Mel's head, like this. Mel closes her eyes, basking in the familiar gesture. Foo-foo, yes, this is what I wanted. I've always wanted you to praise me like this. The tender moment is completely lost on a nearby guard whose jaw is on the floor. Incredible. Who on earth is that man? He's allowed to touch the president's hair. Mel pulls back, looking content. Thank you, Master Sama. I feel a little satisfied for the time being. Eizen nods. That's good. Are you fine without medical treatment? Mel reassures him. I've already received first aid, so I'm fine. Her expression then turns serious. Putting that aside, I have something to tell you, Master Sama. There are so many things I want to talk about, but there is one thing I decided I absolutely must say when you came back. With a proud, heartfelt smile, she declares, Welcome home, Master Sama. We have done our best to restore this world while waiting for your return. Eizen looks out at the world his disciples have built, a world he can finally see. Ah, I'm home, Mel. Thanks to all of you, I'm able to see this fun world. The threat was over, and it was time to celebrate. The next day, the entire city was in high spirits. At the Global Guild, preparations were underway. A massive victory party was thrown in the guild's tavern to honor the heroes. Mel declared that if the Magic University had fallen, the entire Pioneer City would have been in danger, so everyone who fought deserved a reward. The university gathered a huge amount of valuable materials from the Titan Ogre, selling them for a massive profit. These funds were immediately put to use, first to rebuild the damaged sections of the university, and then to hold a grand banquet for the security squad members who risked their lives. For several days, the Pioneer City was alive with celebration. Then, in the early morning, after the city finally returned to its usual pace, Eizen and Rin, having finished their preparations, headed to the southern edge of the city to depart. Mel and Eureka were there to see them off. You're leaving already? Mel asked, a hint of disappointment in her voice. I haven't fully thanked you yet. Eizen just laughed it off. No, I've received enough gratitude. Plus, from the bounty for defeating the ogre, I got enough useful items to fill this magic bag. Even so, I wish you would stay and relax for a while, Mel insisted. I have so many things to tell you, and I had so much fun chatting with Rin-chan. Rin beamed. Thank you so much, Mel-san. I'm glad I could talk with you too. I was able to hear all about Master Sama's current circumstances. Mel turned back to Eizen. Master Sama, I was very surprised to see you haven't aged a bit. If anything, you look even younger. Ah, Eizen replied, that's thanks to the former spirit emperor that healed me. Mel chuckled. You know, there are many paintings that describe your features, but most of them draw you as an old man. very few people know what you actually looked like, and many people are named Eizen now after the hero of the war. As Eizen the Prophet, you'd be welcomed in any town, she continued, but with your current appearance they probably won't be able to recognize you. Eizen's gaze drifted towards the horizon. I don't mind, I'm not on a journey for that purpose. What I want is to simply experience this world that my amazing disciples have restored and made so much richer. He smiled, content with his anonymity. Mel looked touched. Amazing, I guess that's true, Eizen added. Don't be so modest, you are also one of my amazing disciples, Mel. Looking back at the town, Eizen said, I'm glad the first place I visited after leaving the spirit world was here. I was able to see many interesting things thanks to you. I'm happy to hear those words, Master Sama, Mel replied warmly. But I really don't think I've thanked you enough, so, here, take this with you. She held out a small, ornate certificate. What is this? Eizen asked. It was a certificate from the president of the Magic University. This will help you gain an adventurer's trust, Mel explained. It's a guarantee of your position from me. With this, you'll be authorized to enter any place I can, which means most of the southern cities. Eizen was taken aback. So this certificate has that kind of power, are you sure about giving it to me? Of course, Mel said with a confident smile. In fact, it feels strange for me to be the one guaranteeing you since you're so much more powerful. Still, I'm glad my status can be useful to you, even if it's just a little. Eizen accepted the gift. Thank you, Mel, I will use it carefully. By the way, where are you going next? She asked. Eizen pointed towards the mountains. To the south. According to a letter, another one of my disciples lives in the trade city past the inn-town. Mel's eyes lit up with a mischievous idea. If he knows you're coming, he'll raise an uproar. Maybe it would be better not to contact him beforehand. Eizen scratched his head. I also think so. It would be great to be received calmly, well. It doesn't matter if he knows I'm coming, but ultimately, I just don't want to cause trouble for my disciples. Master is really considerate, Mel mused. Okay, I'll help you travel incognito. I've already asked everyone at the university who knows your identity to keep it a secret. Besides, I want to try something fun for that king that likes to fool around. Just then, Eureka stepped forward. Excuse me, at the party I heard you're going to the trade city. She held out a sealed envelope. Please accept this letter of introduction. If you show this to the Katadama's door company, you should receive some benefits. The representative there is an acquaintance of mine, and only they can open this magically sealed letter. In the letter, I explained that you're the Prophet Eizen, and I also asked them not to cause a fuss about it. Is that all right? She smiled brightly. You're always helping me, let me at least do this for you. Eizen took the letter. Thank you, Eureka, you have been very good to me. As they prepared to leave, Mel shook Rin's hand. Rin-chan, I entrust Master to you, Rin saluted. Of course, Mel-san, please leave him to me. The time for goodbyes had come. Well, have a safe trip, you two, Mel said with a wave. Eureka added, let's definitely meet again. Eizen and Rin turned back one last time. Everyone, we've been in your care. And so, the two of them set out from the pioneer city of Sagidale and headed south, wondering what new adventures and what other disciples they would meet in this new world. Later that same day, at the Magic University, the cleanup from the Titan Ogre's attack is underway. Walking through the grounds with Mel, Eureka observes the auditorium that the ogre destroyed. It's being restored. Mel nods, surveying the reconstruction. Yes, though it'll take some time to be completed. I've already repaired the places destroyed by the ice, she continues, but I still need to reconstruct the auditorium and my laboratory. As the last remnants of the ogre's magic evaporate into a dark miasma, Mel confirms her suspicions. As I thought, the ice bullets were created from myasma. Eureka shivers, the memory still fresh. I can't stop shivering when I think what would have happened if Eizen-san never showed up. Mel sweats, admitting, I'm the same. Changing the subject, Mel asks, by the way, where should I deliver the documents I got from the guild? Eureka thinks for a moment. If I recall correctly, your office is destroyed along with my laboratory, Mel finishes for her. Yes, but I've prepared a temporary office, come with me. Mel leads the way, opening the door to her new workspace. They step into the Magic University, President's temporary office. Eureka hands over a stack of papers. Here are the documents for the week. Mel accepts them gratefully. Thank you, Eureka. As Mel gets settled, Eureka wonders aloud. I wonder if Aizen-sama and Rin-sama have arrived in Trade City already. Looking over the paperwork, Mel replies, probably if those two run at full speed, but they mentioned a detour on the way. Eureka recalls a report with a smile. He's even quicker than a carriage, and it seems Rin-chan is also able to keep up with Master's speed. Suddenly, Mel's eyes fall upon a particular envelope in the stack. What? She lifts the letter, examining its ornate and powerful-looking wax seal. What's this, Eureka? Ah, that letter, Eureka explains. It was sent to you through the guild. Mel's eyes narrow as she recognizes the seal. This magic sealing wax, it's from my fellow comrade. Eureka gasps in shock. You mean that letter is from one of the 100 heroes? Mel nods. I did think that the wax had peculiar mana in it. Mel explains the seal's enchantment. The magic applied would burn the letter if someone other than me opens it. The only one capable of this would be her, but what for? She carefully breaks the seal and begins to read. Her expression quickly turns to one of shock and concern. I see, what's going on? Noticing her distress, Eureka asks, what do you mean by dangerous? Mel looks up from the letter, her voice grave. No, it seems Master is heading to a dangerous city. You see, Mel explains, the one who sent this letter is one of the 100 heroes. I know her well since she's my colleague. A silhouette of another hero flashes in her mind. She is the type of person that behaves unpredictably once she sees Master. It seems she is about to reach Trade City. The realization dawns on Eureka, but Eizen-san and co. are also going to Trade City. Mel looks out the window, a worried sweat on her brow. That's right, it means 2 of the 100 heroes are in that city right now. If they see Master, I'm sure they'd be excited to the point of unconsciously causing a huge uproar. Far away, Aizen and Rin continue their journey, oblivious to the storm brewing ahead. Mel's voice echoes with foreboding. Maybe Master's incognito journey will end in the next town. Half a day has passed since Aizen and Rin set out south from the Pioneer City. Walking along a stone path, Aizen remarks, I thought it would take us much more time since we didn't take a carriage, but we got here quickly, even while checking the topography. Rin smiles brightly. Yes, the highway is carefully maintained and we're not tired at all. Ahead of them lies a quaint post town, a small settlement of inns and shops nestled by a stone bridge. They make their way into the town. Aizen looks around, a sense of pride on his face. In some letters from my disciples, they mentioned putting all their effort into maintaining the roads. They really understand the importance of travel. He glances at the sun high in the sky. It's only noon. They can still press on without taking a break here. Aizen turns to Rin, pondering their next move. If we continue from here, we'll reach the Trade City. How should we travel? Rin looks back, curious. How? Are there other ways than walking? Aizen explains, yes. One of my disciples runs a carriage transport company. If I recall, he established branches in numerous post towns. Rin's eyes light up with recognition. Years ago, he sent me a letter saying I started it. It's a carriage rental system, right? Looks like they have a branch here as well. The system was designed to help merchants transport their goods from trade cities, setting up rental branches in smaller towns along the way. Rin nods in understanding. I see, so even normal adventurers like us can use these carriages if we can afford it. I'm fine with going on foot, Aizen begins. He looks at her kindly. But if you are tired, we can rent a carriage. What do you want to do, Rin? She replies gratefully. I'll proceed as you want, of course, sensei. Rin flexes her arm with a determined look. Also, I'm not tired at all. I've been diligently trained by you after all. I won't get tired from just this much walking. She adds with a cheerful laugh, plus I'm having fun walking leisurely with you, sensei. Aizen chuckles. Is that so? Then let's go by foot. However, Aizen suggests, I want to take a look at the company my disciple built. Should we drop by? Rin points forward enthusiastically. Yes, Roger. They soon find the building, a rustic shop with an attached stable. A large sign shaped like a carriage wheel hangs above the door, clearly marking it as the rental carriages shop. As Aizen pushes the door open, a small bell rings announcing their arrival. A lone shopkeeper behind the counter calls out, Welcome, but the shop itself is strangely empty. Aizen and Rin step inside, their eyes drawn to a large blackboard on the wall. Aizen scans the board. All the carriages are taken. Every single slot on the board is marked. Not a single carriage is available. The signs all read the same thing, contract completed. The shopkeeper approaches them. Excuse me, sir, all of them have been rented today. Aizen smiles, unfazed. Oh, it's quite the boom period. That's fine, I just wanted to take a look. We plan to reach the trade city by foot anyway. The shopkeeper looks shocked. By foot, it'll take a full day to get there that way. I suggest you buy a tent. Aizen confidently replies, I already have one, so it's okay. The man's expression shifts to one of admiration. To think there are still adventurers such as you. You're still young, but you don't lack courage. Aizen laughs. Thank you, our rental carriage is always this popular. The letter I got said there still aren't enough customers. The shopkeeper explains that this town's proximity to the rapidly growing trade city has created a huge demand for transport, making this particular branch a flourishing business. Rin finds the economic lesson fascinating. So demand increases with a city's growth. It'll be fun to see the development of other cities by checking their carriage rentals. I've learned something interesting, Aizen says, turning to leave. Thank you and sorry for troubling you, the shopkeeper smiles. Don't mind it, have a safe trip. As they walk away from the shop, Aizen reflects on the encounter. Well, the receptionist is a nice person. He certainly built a good company, huh? Rin beams with pride for her teacher. Really, that means you taught him the importance of networking. In other words, sensei's teachings are wonderful. Aizen chuckles, shaking his head. Haha, I just taught him those things, I'm not the one who applied them. This was all possible because of my disciple's competence. He closes his eyes with a satisfied smile. However, I'm also proud of myself. Okay, Aizen announces, let's have lunch at a coffee shop before heading to the trade city. Rin is overjoyed. Yes, having a meal with you is one of this journey's pleasures. They sit down to a meal at an outdoor table. This omelet is delicious, Aizen says. Rin agrees, it really is, there are many shops here that serve delicious egg dishes. As they finish their meal, Aizen plans their next leg. Alright, apparently it takes 1 day to reach the trade city from here. However, with some light jogging, I think we can make it before tonight. Walking while admiring the night sky or reaching there before night, I don't mind either way. Let's go at our own pace. Rin nods. Yes. With their break over, they set out on the path leading through the forest. They pick up speed, dashing through the trees. Suddenly Rin calls out, Sensei, what's that? Aizen looks ahead. Looks like that carriage can't move. Indeed, a large covered wagon is stopped dead in the middle of the road. A worried-looking man with blonde hair and glasses stands beside it, muttering to himself. Aizen and Rin approach him. Hey, what happened? Aizen calls out. The man looks up startled. Sorry for blocking the path. It's fine, Aizen says. Did you have an accident? It's dangerous to stay here. The merchant explains with a sigh. My horse won't move and the carriage wheels won't turn without him. As a merchant, I can't just abandon my goods, so I'm stuck. My companion went ahead to call for assistance, but that could take a day. Besides, he adds, looking at his animal, I'd feel bad if I left my horse all alone here. Aizen looks at the creature lying on the ground, whining in pain. It's a unicorn. It's a demon beast but not harmful to humans, Aizen notes. Very popular because it has much more stamina than a normal horse. The merchant nods. Yes, I thought it had eaten a poisonous plant, so I gave it an anti-poison potion, but nothing changed. Aizen looks closer. It looks like it's in pain indeed. A thoughtful expression crosses Aizen's face. Let me try something. He calmly approaches the distressed unicorn. Placing a gentle hand on its head, he speaks softly, talk to me. Using his magic, he connects with the creature's mind, hearing its panicked thoughts. I can't move, my rear right leg is numb. Why? Even though I want to work for Master, I cannot move. Aizen's eyes narrow in understanding. He walks toward the back of the unicorn. I see, the right leg at the back, right. The merchant watches, confused, as the unicorn continues to whinny. Aizen kneels down and grips the unicorn's rear leg, his expression serious. He finds the source of the problem and carefully pulls it free, so it's because of this. The unicorn's eyes jolt open. In an instant, the creature rises to its feet, completely fine. The merchant stares in disbelief. You healed it. Aizen holds up a small, sharp thorn. This was stuck in its leg. It probably stepped on a pain hedgehog. The thorn is enchanted to keep injecting a small amount of poison into its victim. Once this is removed, Aizen finishes, the anti-poison potion should be able to cure it. The merchant is overwhelmed with relief. Thank you so much. But then a thought strikes him. However, I just left the post town. We shouldn't have encountered such a thing on this road. Aizen examines the thorn. Maybe it's a prank, it's quite vicious though. As the merchant gives the unicorn the potion, he speculates, it could be business rivals, but I just don't know. Aizen watches the unicorn drink. Yes, it should be fine shortly. The merchant turns to Aizen, his gratitude mixed with awe. Thank God, to think you realized the cause immediately. Did you use word magic? Yes, one of my coworkers uses it, Aizen replies casually. To be frank, there's a slight difference between word magic and prophet magic, but it's more convenient for me to call it that way. The merchant is still puzzled, but this is the first time I've seen someone use it that way. No, the word magicians I know of are people capable of commanding elements like fire or water, or even animals. But even though they could hear other species' languages, they couldn't understand most of it. It's nearly impossible to come to a mutual understanding. He looks at Aizen, searching for an answer. Then, how come you're able to understand the condition of a living creature? Aizen gives a simple smile. Well, that's because I've encountered various animals before. I just guessed what was going on based on my experience. He recalls his past. During the wars, I encountered many situations where injured people were unable to talk. The experience I gained from treating them serves me even now in my daily life. The now healthy unicorn nuzzles Aizen affectionately. He laughs and pats its head. Ha ha ha, you're all good now, you did great. The merchant clasps his hands together, his face beaming with joy. He was in so much pain before and now, thank you so much. On the road, Aizen and Rin come across a merchant whose large carriage has ground to a halt. The blond man inspects his unicorn and the wagon, clearly frustrated. It's no good, he sighs. This is useless unless a maintenance person comes. Aizen steps forward, a calm aura surrounding him. It does seem to be broken down, however, please allow me to hear what's wrong. Closing his eyes, Aizen seems to listen to the carriage itself, a faint smile appearing on his face. Ah, so that's what it is. He then reaches under the carriage between the wheels. He pulls out a small, sharp piece of metal. Was this digging into it? The merchant looks at the object in shock. It's a piece of metal, there's a liquid spread over it. Rin leans in, her sharp eyes identifying the substance. Isn't that a magic potion, sensei? I see, Eizen confirms, a movement obstructing formula. The merchant wonders if it was sabotage from a rival. With the obstruction removed, the carriage jolts forward. The merchant is overjoyed. It started moving again, thank you so much. Impressed, he asks, are you an engineer? I hear you have to be familiar with that subject to use word magic on an inorganic substance. Eizen simply replies, I'm not. Eizen explains his unique ability. They say spirits dwell in objects that have been cherished, right? Such a dwelling was also present on this carriage. It knew why it couldn't move. I just heard it, that's all. The merchant is taken aback. Is that so? I've always used the carriage with care, so could that be why? Relieved, he prepares to part ways. Yeah, it seems like we can continue, I'm glad. Anyway, take care. But as Eizen and Rin turn to leave, the man calls out, hey. Are you two going to the trade city? It's quite a long way on foot. Helping me made you guys late, he says with a grateful smile. So if you'd like, how about riding with me? I'm headed there as well. Eizen asks if he's sure, and the merchant insists. Of course, I can't offer you my thanks with anything here, so I'd be happy if you came with me. Eizen smiles warmly. That's very kind of you, I'm grateful for this once-in-a-lifetime meeting. Rin formally accepts. May we accept your invitation then? It's a bit late, but may I ask your name? I'm Rin, and my friend here is called Eizen. She then adds excitedly, of course sensei would love to. I'm sorry for not telling you sooner, the merchant says, gesturing to the company's coat of arms on his carriage. I'm Rue Harbor is the name, I'm a merchant, please feel free to enter. And so their journey together begins, the carriage trundling down the dirt road. The magnificent unicorn pulls the cart with ease. Inside, Rue remarks, we're going quite fast, even though you're pulling a pretty big luggage carrier with only one horse. Eizen replies, that's right, the carriage is owned by the company, so both the horse and the cart are first class. Rue looks at his unicorn fondly. Thank you again for fixing the carriage. I was thinking of renting another, but there was no chance I was going to leave this horse behind. Eizen nods. On the contrary, I think you did the right thing. All carriages in town were already reserved anyway. Besides, Eizen adds with a smile, I was able to meet you too. It's better to think of it as a result of your own actions. He then leans in conspiratorially. Your horse is saying the same thing right now, you know. Rue freezes, completely stunned by the statement. You're saying this little one said that? Indeed, Eizen confirms. It's saying it's grateful and wants to thank you for always petting it and staying by its side when it was having a bad time. Rue scratches the back of his head, blushing but clearly touched. This little one has always trained with me, Rue explains, his voice full of pride. It's a good horse, so I just couldn't bear to abandon it. Eizen smiles, his trust in the merchant solidified. Yeah, even when I heard those words earlier, I felt like I could really trust you, Rue. Rue laughs heartily. For us merchants, horses are our partners. No, I think maybe we can be called brothers-in-arms now, we've been together for so long. Suddenly the unicorn lets out a sharp whinny, its ears perked and eyes wide with alarm. Rue, lost in the moment, simply smiles, thank you for telling me. He turns back to his passengers, feeling confident. It's still going to take a while, but as long as I'm with you too, there's nothing to worry about. We'll arrive before nightfall, so please relax. Roger that, Eizen replies cheerfully. But please don't hesitate to tell me when you need help, Eizen adds, as Rue agrees and urges the carriage onward. The sun begins its descent, painting the clouds in shades of gray. As they travel through a wooded area, the atmosphere grows quiet. Rue notices the unsettling silence. Maybe it's because it's gotten late, but there aren't any people walking by, he muses. The road is completely empty, huh? Up ahead, his eyes lock onto a disturbing sight, an overturned cart blocking the road. The cart is laying on its side. Did it crash? The coachman and horse are nowhere in sight. Maybe he left to find help. The road is partially blocked. Rue thinks aloud, assessing the situation. He tightens his grip on the reins. Maybe I can pass if I go off-road a little. I need to slow down but keep some momentum. He carefully guides the unicorn around the wreckage. But as they pass, a figure springs from behind the crashed cart. In the same instant, another bandit leaps from the trees, aiming to board their carriage. Rue is caught completely by surprise as chaos erupts. A bandit, he gasps, pulling back on the reins. But the situation is far more complex. The bandit who jumped onto the carriage is suddenly sent flying. Kicked off by a third assailant who is hiding on the roof of their own carriage. The first bandit lands on his feet, stunned by the betrayal. The true leader of the ambush reveals himself. He lands gracefully on the road in front of them. Not bad, the man smirks. Just as I expected of a merchant entrusted with a carriage bearing the company's coat of arms. Rue realizes he needs to escape. I can't deal with this guy right now, I need to get past him fast. But as he urges the unicorn forward, it suddenly cries out and stumbles to the ground. What happened? Rue leaps down to check on his partner. He finds several small needles embedded in the unicorn's flank. Needles, could it be? The bandit leader holds up his hand, revealing more of the poisoned darts. This time it's a fast-acting poison. It can't run now, even if you use potions. The horrifying truth dawns on Rue. There's no doubt, the previous problem with the carriage, that was also this guy's work. With their escape route cut off, the bandit leader gives a signal. All right, come out people. From the surrounding woods, a whole crew of armed thugs emerges. I did my part stopping the horse, the leader says. Now it's time for you guys to do your job. A gallery of grim-faced bandits closes in on them. His men congratulate him. Boss, you picked a good timing today as well. The true bandit boss, a hulking brute, steps forward with a greedy sneer. Now then, merchant, he growls. A carriage with that coat of arms is bound to be loaded with money. Do me a favor and leave it all behind, your horse, your luggage, and your lives as well. Rue sweats, realizing the grim reality. There seems to be no room for negotiations. That's right, the boss confirms coldly. That's because you guys are just in our way. With a bloodthirsty roar, the boss lunges, swinging a massive blade straight at Rue's head. Die already. Rue's eyes widen in terror. He's frozen, completely unable to react. I can't dodge it. But from the carriage, Eizen's voice cuts through the chaos, calm and collected. Blow wind. In an instant, a powerful gust of magic erupts, slamming into Rue. The force shoves him to the ground, just out of the path of the bandit's deadly strike. He looks up, bewildered. The bandits stare in disbelief, shocked by the sudden display of power. Hey, one of them mutters, this is getting dangerous. Eizen and Rin step out from the carriage, their expressions deadly serious. Eizen smirks at the thugs. Didn't you bandits listen? Rue, leave the rest to us. Just as their journey seems to be going smoothly, the rustling in the trees gives way to an ambush. A gang of armed bandits emerges from the forest, completely surrounding Eizen, Rin, and Rue's carriage. The leader, a scarred and brutish man, points his sword at the group. Who even are you people? His men begin to size them up. One bandit eyes Eizen's staff, asking, is he a magician escort? Another, who had clearly been tracking their target, adds, he wasn't there when I marked the carriage back in town. Rin shifts nervously behind Eizen, her voice a worried whisper. What are we going to do, sensei? Two of the bandits leer at Rin with greedy eyes. Ain't she a beauty? On top of that, she's an elf. If we sell her alive, she'll fetch a nice price, thanks for the bonus. Eizen's expression hardens. He thinks to himself, human trafficking too, bad guys never change, do they? Stepping forward calmly, Eizen raises a hand to get their attention. Listen for a moment. The bandit boss scoffs, assuming Eizen is about to beg or call for help. Listen up, you weak magician. If you try to call for help, I'll burn your eyes, ears, throat, and heart before you get the chance. It's useless, understand? But Eizen simply offers a gentle, disarming smile. Oh no, it's not that kind of talk. I was just going to ask. You guys wouldn't mind turning yourselves in to the guards immediately, right? His absurd proposal is met with a moment of dead silence. The bandit boss sticks his tongue out in a mocking gesture. Then the entire gang erupts in laughter. Aha, you did well begging for your life, the boss roars. You're a magician with humor. His smile turns into a cruel sneer. Hee, well, we're done talking. With a final threat, as thanks for your joke, we'll finish you off nicely, the bandits charge forward. Eizen lets out a sigh, gripping his staff. So you don't feel like turning yourselves in, huh? I suppose it's useless. The charging bandits mock his calm demeanor. Are you preparing to use magic now? You're taking your time. One of them gets right in his face, yelling, I won't even give you the time to use your magic. In a flash of movement that defies their expectations, Eizen strikes. With 3 precise, brutal swings of his staff, he takes down the first wave of attackers before they can even react. The bandit boss and his poison-using subordinate can only stare in disbelief. Ah. The poison user is in a state of shock. His mind races. Did that magician just use a melee attack? His movements, I couldn't even see them. An aura of power begins to swirl around Eizen as he takes a battle stance. Who's next? He asks, casting a spell, Acceleration. He vanishes in a blur, moving so fast he leaves a trail of dust in his wake, shocking the remaining bandits. With 2 more swift, powerful strikes, another pair of bandits are slammed to the ground. The remaining thugs are now paralyzed with fear. The boss is frantic, shouting at his men. Who is this guy? What was that just now? Get yourselves together, you idiots. Panicked, he comes up with a new plan. Let's aim for one of the others. He points towards the carriage. That woman, let's take her hostage. Rin, having heard the entire exchange, turns with a look of pure annoyance. Take me hostage. The poison user makes a desperate dash towards her. He reaches out, his hand ready to grab her. But Rin is faster. She effortlessly sidesteps his clumsy attempt and drives her own weapon into his side. The bandit cries out in shock and pain. A surge of electricity envelops him as Rin unleashes her magic. Bolt Edge. With a cold glare she tells him, I won't let you touch me with your filthy hands. As the bandit collapses, Rin calmly reports back, I finished off this one, sensei. In the background, Aizen is seen casually dispatching another foe. Aizen smiles, his part of the fight nearly over. I'm nearly done over here. He turns his full attention to the terrified leader. Lastly, let's finish this with you. The bandit boss stumbles back, finally realizing his mistake. It's foolish to fight a magician. Who even are you guys? Aizen closes the distance, his voice low and steady. What, right now, we're just adventurers. He swings his staff, not with the blade but with the heavy pommel. The blow connects squarely with the boss's head, knocking him out instantly. With the last bandit down, Aizen rests his staff on his shoulder. It seems we caught these robbers red-handed, let's hand them over to the guardhouse. Sometime later, the group is back on the move, with their former attackers now tied up securely in the back of the wagon. Rue, the merchant they rescued, is overcome with gratitude. You really got me out of a tight spot there, thank you. Aizen dismisses the thanks, but Rue is insistent. To think you guys were adventurers. These days, only those with real courage and ability take on that title. He looks at them both with sincere admiration. And if it's you two, that much is clear, both of you are quite powerful. While tending to the unicorn, Aizen mentions he used word magic to make the ropes extra secure. He asks if the guardhouse in Trade City is the closest place to turn them in. Rue confirms it is and, seeing the horse is recovered, urges them to set off immediately. As they continue their journey, Rue promises to thank them properly once they arrive in the city. The sun begins to set, casting long shadows on the road ahead. Under a starry sky, their wagon finally approaches a large, bustling city. They have arrived at the Trade City of Orients. They make their way through the city streets, heading directly for the local guardhouse. Inside, Rue activates a memory-reproducing magic item, projecting the scene of the ambush for the city guard. The guard captain watches intently. This memory reproduction is enough evidence. No doubt about it, these are the bandits who have been wreaking havoc around here. Using poison is their modus operandi. For their trouble, Aizen and Rin are given a substantial reward. Aizen is pleasantly surprised. Reward money for preserving public order. Impressive that there's a system like this. Rue explains that it's a new policy from the mayor. Aizen smiles. This is enough for several nights at an inn. The soldiers told us to use it to relax, so let's happily use this extra income. As they're talking, a large, muscular man with a scar on his face approaches them. You made it back, Rue, he exclaims. I was surprised when the guardhouse contacted me. I hadn't even sent the repair staff yet. Rue introduces his friend. David, actually I ran into some help. David turns to Aizen, having heard the story. The adventurers you met helped you fix the carriage and fight off bandits, right? He looks at the pair with interest. If they're really such jacks of all trades, I'd like to meet them in person. David looks from Rue to Aizen and Rin. Is it these two? Rue adjusts his glasses with a proud smile. Indeed, they are incredible people. Upon hearing this, David immediately turns to face them. He bows deeply, his voice filled with genuine gratitude. I'm sorry for not thanking you sooner. Mr. Aizen, Miss Rin, thank you from the bottom of my heart for helping my partner and his horse. He straightens up, his expression earnest. I, David, want to give it my all to return that favor. Aizen tries to downplay their actions, but David won't hear it. Whatever the reason, I'd feel sorry for not thanking you. I wouldn't be able to forgive myself as a merchant or as a person. Rue smoothly interjects, you said you'll be staying in Trade City for a while. Have you already decided on an inn, David? David grins, one step ahead as always. Yes, I've already gotten a room for you. It's a big place on the main street and the payment is already taken care of. He explains, we want to make sure you can stay here without worrying about expenses. If that's all right with you, Rue chuckles, impressed by his friend's efficiency. Aizen smiles warmly and accepts the generous offer. Of course, thank you for going through all this trouble for us. Rue is delighted. Looks like acting immediately was the right answer. Aizen agrees, yeah, thank goodness. David adds, it's still not enough to thank you for saving his life, but I haven't thought of something formal yet. Please let me make it up to you eventually. Rue steps in. For the time being, as a simple thank you for today, I'd like to treat you to dinner. Aizen looks surprised, asking, are you sure? David cuts in before Rue can even ask. I know a great place. I thought something like this might happen, so I already got us a spot. As the group walks through the brightly lit city streets, Rue suggests, I was thinking we could drop off our luggage at the inn first so we can walk around at ease. David readily agrees, well in that case, let us first show you to the inn. Inside the inn, Rue and David show Aizen and Rin to their room. Please make yourself at home, Rue says warmly. We'll see you at the restaurant in 2 hours, David adds, it's right across the street so let's meet at the entrance of the inn. Rin's eyes widen in amazement as she takes in the room. Stepping inside, she gasps, wow, there are multiple beds and even a bathtub. Aizen looks around, impressed. It's quite spacious. Aizen turns to Rin with a smile. What do you think of leaving our things here and going for a walk? Rin beams back. I'd love to. With some time to kill, they wander into a bustling indoor market. The air is thick with the chatter of the crowd, the smell of street food, and the sight of merchants hawking their wares. Rin points excitedly into the crowd. Ah, sensei, look over there, Aizen takes in the vibrant scene. Even at night, everything is brightly lit. It's very lively around here. Her eyes land on a colorful stall. I found another juice shop. Aizen considers it. It would be interesting to compare it with the last one. Since trade cities have fruit from all over, I'll bet their specialty is mixed juices. He agrees with a nod. Sure. As they walk, Aizen spots a tall stone structure against the night sky. It seems the old watchtower has become a public observation deck. Let's go check it out. From the top of the tower, the wind whips past them as they gaze out at the sprawling, illuminated city. Wow, Rin breathes, the night view is gorgeous. Aizen looks out wistfully. Compared to the past, the trade city has developed a lot. Originally, it was a fortified town surrounded by circular walls, he explains. All the streets you can see outside are expansions of the city's original territory. Rin's face lights up with understanding. Now that you mention it, Aizen-sensei, I was surprised seeing those expansions on the map back at the inn. When we go back down, let's walk around one of the new parts of the city. The city lights twinkle below them, a testament to its rapid growth. They descend from the tower and walk through the newer districts. Aizen recalls, Rue said that commercial and residential areas are being established in the city's outer edges. Indeed, he continues, observing the organized streets, the area outside of the wall is being thoroughly divided into districts. Their walk takes them to a quieter, undeveloped plot of land with a few trees. Oh, Rin notes, they haven't developed this area yet. A sign posted nearby indicates that a park is planned for the area, cautioning people to watch their step. Aizen smiles. This place is also about to become part of the city. The excitement of seeing this development process can't be appreciated through letters alone. Suddenly he stops, a flicker of confusion on his face. Huh. His staff begins to pulse with a brilliant light. Sensei, your staff is glowing, Rin exclaims. Her eyes widen with a sudden thought. Could it be that a part of my power is nearby? The glowing staff sways, acting like a compass as it points deeper into the undeveloped park. They follow its lead into the grassy area. It's somewhere around here, Aizen confirms. As they approach a tree, a swirling vortex of light manifests from its base, coalescing into the shape of a book. This is it, Aizen says. The spectral book hovers before them, its light displaying the conditions to undo its seal. With the conditions met, the book of light flies open. On its pages a new skill is revealed, Power Amplification II. As the light fades, Aizen looks at the spot in disbelief. To think that it was here in the city. He reflects aloud, when I was splitting up my powers, I deliberately chose places away from people, without anything nearby. But now the city has expanded all the way out here. It really makes you realize the development. It's kind of fun. Not only that, recovering it while on a walk is lucky. Rin smiles slyly. It almost makes me think you saw it coming. As expected of sensei, you can see the future after all, can't you? Aizen chuckles, shaking his head. Not at all, it was just a coincidence. This town is full of pleasant encounters. He turns to her. Well then, shall we return to the meeting place? Rin nods. Let's go. Later they arrive outside a classy establishment. A sign depicts a sleeping white cat. It seems they made a reservation at a place called the White Cat's Resting Spot, Rin reads. I wonder what kind of restaurant they decided to invite us to, she muses. Aizen replies, yeah, I am looking forward to it, sensei. Inside, David and Rue welcome them to a large, well-set table. Feel free to eat and drink as much as you want today, David booms. We specially ordered some of their best dishes. It's the best food in all of Orience. Aizen smiles gratefully. Wow, thank you very much, David. Rin's eyes sparkle. This is going to be a feast. The restaurant is lavish with a pianist playing softly on a main stage. David explains, in this restaurant you can also enjoy live performances. They have dancing, singing, and acrobatic acts on a regular basis. Rue leans in with a proud smirk. Moreover, these are premium seats. Not only can you see the main stage, you can also see the raised stage right in front of us. It's connected to the main stage, so an artist could appear directly under our noses. He raises a finger, adding a small warning. You can request songs, but you aren't allowed to touch the artists. Aizen looks towards the stage, impressed. I see, these are indeed great seats. Rue pushes his glasses up, a sparkle in his eye. Furthermore, star entertainers like famous divas and expert acrobats are coming here today. I expect their masterful skills will be incredibly enjoyable. As if on cue, the beautiful melody of a violin drifts through the air from backstage. Aizen listens intently. Oh, it seems the people backstage have already started. We can't see them, but this piece is really delightful. He takes a bite of his food, his expression pleased. The food tastes amazing as well. Rin agrees wholeheartedly. It really does. The spices give it such a rich aroma. I'd love to see what ingredients they use in the kitchen. Rue turns to her. Oh, Rin, you like cooking, she beams. I do, especially when Aizen-sensei enjoys the food that I make. David smiles. I'm glad you do. This city attracts the best goods people and chefs from all over. That's why the food is so delicious. Aizen nods in agreement. Sensei seems to be fond of the food from this restaurant after all. Yeah, I like it a lot. David raises his glass. So please eat plenty, even if it means Katadama's door has to go all out. Please enjoy yourselves. The name piques Aizen's interest. Katadama's door, is that the company you two are affiliated with? Isn't that a pretty big name around the trade cities? Rue and David exchange a look. Now you mention it, I never told you, did I? Rue begins. David cuts in, indeed. It's a company founded by me, a word magician, and Rue, a merchant. Since we started, we've gathered professionals in various fields, David continues. From trade and appraisal to blacksmithing and convoys, our name has spread to other cities. Aizen is surprised. So when you called each other partners, you actually meant you're the founders? Rue smiles. Yeah, even though we have different professions, we get along strangely well. David's expression softens. And despite all that, you didn't know who we were, but you still helped us out. Aizen clarifies, well that's because I only found out just now. David laughs. Knowing that makes me even more grateful. I'm thankful for your good intentions and for the fate that brought us all together. But you said you knew the name Katadama's door, right? David asks, circling back. You even said it was pretty big. Oh, that's right, Aizen recalls. I have an acquaintance who says she's on good terms with you. Her name is Eureka Griffin. Do you know of her? At the mention of the name, both David and Rue freeze, their faces etched with surprise. Rue stammers. She's the president of the alchemist's garden, right? Aizen nods. Come to think of it, I had a letter from her. He pulls a sealed envelope from his coat. Here, please confirm it. David takes the letter, his eyes fixed on the wax seal. This is a magical seal unique to Miss Eureka, not that I had any doubts. Rue adds, she's a friend we've worked with in the past. They break the seal and begin to read the letter together. As their eyes scan the page, their casual expressions instantly vanish, replaced by wide-eyed shock. Aizen sips his wine, confused by their reaction. A tense silence falls over the table as they finish reading, completely stunned. Rue looks up, his voice trembling slightly. Aizen, is it true, what's written in this letter? David's voice is filled with awe. The prophet Aizen Otis, the master of the 100 heroes. Aizen calmly confirms, yeah, that's right, it looks like even you know about it. David jumps to his feet, flustered. Of course, you're a legend. Bards sing songs about you, but shouldn't you be old? Do you use some kind of anti-aging magic? Aizen smiles wryly. Magic, you could call it that. I've been living in a place where time is warped, apparently for long enough to be turned into a character in songs. Rue adjusts his glasses, his composure returning slightly. That's because you're a figure of legends. Anyone who isn't ignorant would know of your existence. David is still reeling. This is blowing my mind, but Miss Eureka isn't one to tell lies. To think the legendary prophet came to this world and incognito at that. Suddenly, a look of dawning horror crosses both their faces. Rue leans towards David, his voice a panicked whisper. David, could it be that it wasn't a good idea to come to this restaurant today? David's eyes are wide with the same realization. I was thinking the same thing just now. Aizen looks between them, concerned. Is something wrong? Rue hesitates. Well, about those entertainers I mentioned earlier, it's rare they come to this city, especially an extraordinary person like her. He takes a deep breath and delivers the final blow. She is one of the 100 heroes, you see. Aizen's calm demeanor finally breaks as the pieces click into place. So that means. All eyes turn to the small raised stage, now bathed in a single spotlight. The enchanting violin music from backstage cuts off abruptly. Just behind the curtain, a lone violinist freezes, her bow hovering over the strings. A single, shocking thought echoes in her mind. This nostalgic heartbeat, could it be? The performance ends with a dramatic flourish as a blonde woman slides to a stop on stage. The sudden movement catches the attention of Rue and David, who look up in surprise. Without a moment's hesitation, she bolts off the stage, her voice ringing out. I knew it, you have returned. Rin watches in shock as the performer barrels towards their table. Instead of going around, she leaps directly onto their table, making a beeline for Aizen. She lands squarely in Aizen's arms, hugging him with all her might. My dearest darling master. Aizen, though surprised, smiles warmly. Fila, I thought I recognized that play, so it was you after all. She beams at him. Of course, my beloved master's favorite pupil Fila-chan has come to see you. Rue is internally panicking. No way, without a care in the world. One of the heroes themselves appeared. Aizen quickly tries to de-escalate. Thank goodness this is a semi-private room, it's still possible to prevent a commotion. But Fila is lost in the moment. I've been longing to see you again, master. She presses her head against his chest. It's been so long, Master's heartbeat, just letting it echo in my head makes me feel so nostalgic and calms me down. I am so happy. Eisen can only think to himself, I always had the impression that she was a more quiet and adult woman. David voices the same thought. I was thinking the same, David. The times I saw you before, Miss Fila, you acted more professionally. I always thought you were more ladylike. Fila blushes, still clinging to Eisen. I'm sorry for behaving like this in front of customers, but you see, I just can't afford to be a downer when Master is here. She catches her breath for a moment, overcome with emotion. Eisen chuckles, explaining to the others, I am sorry for startling you guys. She's a very emotional person, so this type of thing is a regular occurrence. Fila looks up at him, her eyes sparkling. Master, you remembered my name earlier, there's no way you would forget me, right? I'm an important pupil of yours after all. I'm so happy, she gushes. This scores in the top 5 on my ongoing happiness ranking. The times Master praised me are all ranked first, but this easily makes the cut as well. Rin, completely bewildered, turns to Eisen. You, sensei, could it be that this incredibly energetic person is? Eisen confirms with a knowing smile. Yep, Fila Drurm, a disciple of mine who likes to make people smile. Fila finally lets go of Eisen and turns her full attention to Rin. This girl's sound and aura, she likes Master. Are you by any chance a fellow student? Rin nervously introduces herself. Why, yes, I'm Rin, one of Sensei's disciples, even though I'm the most recent. Fila's eyes light up with realization. So you are indeed a fellow student, or rather, you're the Rin-chan who occasionally replied to the letters addressed to Master. That means you are my little sister disciple. Fila grabs Rin's hands excitedly. You're even cuter when I look at you like that, and because you also love the same Master, we're already friends. Let's become great friends, Rin-chan. Seeing the commotion, Rue steps in. Eisen, I want to get a private room so we won't cause a commotion. Let's change location. Eisen gratefully accepts. The group quickly moves to a more secluded area. Once settled on a plush sofa, Fila continues to lean against Eisen, finally calming down. Rue apologizes for the scene. I'm sorry for causing such a boisterous encounter with one of the 100 heroes, but David waves it off. Oh no, don't worry about it, your cautious reaction really helped us out. Eisen adds, Rue showed me a part of the letter. I understand the situation now, so I will settle down a bit. Fila looks at him with concern. Master, your body seems to have healed. All things considered, yeah, it has indeed, Eisen confirms. He then explains his current goal. So now I'm back in this world to travel around. I want to go visit my disciples and see the sightseeing spots in various locations. Fila's face lights up instantly. You are traveling, really? That's perfect. She leans in eagerly. You see, I'm traveling as well. I'm going to cities all over the world. She looks at him with hopeful eyes. For that reason, Master, I would like to join you on your travels. Eisen recalls her letters. Speaking of which, Fila, you founded a troupe in the northern city that gathered professional entertainers, right? Fila is thrilled he remembered. You really did remember what I wrote. That's what led to me traveling, right? And you left that city because you wanted to entertain people all over the world, or so you wrote in your letters. Eisen chuckles, picturing her energetic letters. Well, your enthusiasm shines through even in your letters, Fila grins. Foo, I wanted to impress you, Master. She puts the pieces together. If you said you came from Pioneer City, then you are heading south, right? That's the same way I was planning to go, she declares. And since I know where the other heroes are, if we go together we could team up. Eisen turns to his other disciple. I don't mind that at all, but what do you think, Rin? Rin smiles warmly. No problems here. If Sensei is fine with it, so am I. Eisen sets one condition. You have your own goals, right, Fila? As long as we don't get in the way of those, then by all means. Fila immediately dismisses the concern. You won't be in the way at all. I am incredibly happy that I can be with Master. That on its own is enough to improve my artistic skills. In art, there is nothing more important than joyous feelings. That's why I'm the one asking, she says, her voice full of passion, if you'll let me go with you. I, the master musician Fila, will give it my all. With everyone in agreement, Eisen smiles. It's settled then, starting today we will travel together. Fila is ecstatic. Master Rin, thank you so much. With the new travel plans sorted, Rue smoothly interjects. It seems like you've finished your conversation, so let us continue our dinner party, shall we? The celebration continues, the mood now even more festive. Eisen raises his glass. Ah, you are right, I have made new friends and met someone I hadn't seen in a long time, so let's continue our celebration. The party moves out onto a balcony under the night sky. Fila has already latched onto Rin like a long-lost sister. Rin-chan, let's sleep together, we will talk about Master all night. As Rin nervously agrees, Eisen watches them, thinking, it looks like they're already opening up to each other. David approaches Eisen privately. Mr. Eisen, do you have a moment? There is something interesting I forgot to tell you. Oh, what is it, David? David leans in. I wanted to tell you something about one of the 100 heroes here in the Trade City. He adds, I've been thinking about working with you as well. Aizen immediately understands. You mean the one who became mayor? I didn't know that Phila was here in the first place, Aizen explains, so I originally came to meet the mayor. David nods. I see. The mayor is often out of town because they're so busy. That's why Rue and I handle reliable information, David says, pointing towards their office building. If possible, could you come to the main office tomorrow morning? Aizen agrees to the meeting. Thanks for the help, David, then I'll meet you there tomorrow morning. David grins, pleased with the arrangement. All right, great, sleep well tonight. Later that night, at the impressive main office of Kodadama's door, Rue settles into his chair in the representative's office on the 4th floor. He lets out a long sigh, finally able to relax after the eventful day. David enters the room. A lot has happened today, hasn't it? Rue takes off his glasses, rubbing his eyes. Well, the carriage broke down and we were attacked by bandits, but all in all the good things outweighed the bad ones today. He smiles, still in disbelief. That famous legend, the character from the fairy tales I listened to as a child, I got to meet Aizen the Prophet. David nods in agreement. Yeah, and not only that, we were able to deepen our relationship with him as well. I was able to talk to him before I even knew he was the Prophet, Rue reflects. On the other hand, he also didn't know I was a representative of Kodadama's door. We were able to get to know each other without any prejudice. As a result, I was able to convince myself that Aizen is a reliable person. For a merchant, that is a very lucky thing. David is fired up. All right, in that case you have to return the favor to him, then let us start gathering info. The evening reception at the city's administration department should still be open, David strategizes. They deal with urgent matters, but if it's us, we may be able to run some things by them. Rue stretches, ready for the task. Then shall we head there for now? David stops him. Oh, by the way. The deputy mayor contacted us saying that he had a request for each of us. It sounded a bit troublesome. Shall we check it out along the way? Rue considers it. Troublesome, you say? Let's start our information gathering off with doing that then. David grins, energized. All right, the meal with Mr. Aizen raised my spirits, so I'm ready for the night shift. Early the next morning, Aizen arrives at the impressive headquarters of Kodadama's door. This is it, he says with a confident smile. Inside, the reception hall is already buzzing with activity. Aizen notes how busy they are, a clear sign of their success, and heads for the general reception desk as instructed. He approaches the counter. Good morning, can I ask you something? The receptionist greets him warmly. Of course, what business can I help you with today? My name is Aizen, he introduces himself. I came to meet Rue and David. Could you ask them to come meet me here? The receptionist's professional smile falters. Do you mean the company's representatives? Exactly, Aizen confirms. They asked me to come by. The receptionist is taken aback by his casual claim. She starts to press him for more details. You'll have to excuse me, but could you first tell me what relation you have with the... When a familiar voice calls out, Mr. Aizen. It's David, striding towards them with a wide grin. I didn't think you'd be here this early, but I came to check anyway. Good thing I did. The receptionist is stunned. Mr. David, what are you doing here? David gestures to Aizen. He's my guest, so I'll show him in personally. Realization dawns on her face, followed by panic. So you two actually know each other. I am so sorry for not welcoming him properly. David waves off her apology. Don't worry about it, I didn't tell you about him. He's a friend and a benefactor. Please treat him with respect in the future. As David leads Aizen away, the lobby erupts in whispers. Did you see that? The boss came to greet him personally. He called him a benefactor. Who is that guy? The receptionist is left reeling. She thought she knew every important client, but she has no idea who this Aizen person is. They head up a grand staircase. As they walk, Aizen apologizes for the confusion, but David explains. I didn't tell my employees who you really are so your identity wouldn't leak. Don't worry about it, Aizen laughs. Thanks for being discreet. By the way, where are the other two? David chuckles. Seems they were talking all night. They're still sound asleep. They reach the 3rd floor, stopping in front of reception room 1. Before they enter, David adds, also, we invited someone else who's waiting with Rue. He's one of the mayor's informants. Aizen gives a nod of approval. Good, let's go inside then, Aizen says as David pushes the door open. Inside, Rue is standing while a man with a prominent mustache sits in a chair. Ah, you've arrived, Rue greets them. The man stands up respectfully. Hello, this is the first time we've met, Prophet Aizen. My name is Woods, I am the deputy mayor, it's a pleasure to meet you. Likewise, Mr. Woods, Aizen replies warmly. Thank you for coming today. I've heard a lot about you from our outstanding mayor, Aizen continues. It is an honor to meet you. Woods explains that the mayor wanted to meet Aizen personally but feared he'd be too distracted to work. I'm grateful you're traveling incognito. I heard you are a very prudent person. Aizen humbly brushes off the compliment. He then gets to the point. Anyway, the mayor isn't here right now. He's on business in the south and should be back in 1 or 2 weeks. Rue chimes in, a liaison will let us know when he's returning. We'll organize another meeting then. Eisen thanks them all for their efforts. David then turns to him, don't think anything of it. Speaking of, Mr. Eisen, do you have any plans going forward? Plans, Eisen asks, nothing in particular. Why? This is the opening Woods was waiting for. Well, given you and your comrades' skills, I would like to make a request to you. A special request for the one who could capture bandits alive. Or rather, for the one who has the ability to use word magic. Eisen raises an eyebrow. You seem to know a lot. Woods simply replies, I'm the deputy mayor, of course I do. Did you know, Woods begins, there is a ranch here in the trading city where they are domesticating and breeding gentle magical creatures. Really, domesticating them? Eisen muses. I know of monster tamers who form contracts, but domestication is new. During the period when you were active, it was an industry that hadn't developed yet, Woods clarifies. He gets to the crisis. To be honest, we received an emergency message from this ranch. The creatures bred there have gone out of control, breaking fences and ravaging the facilities. Eisen connects the dots. So, regarding this request, you're saying you need me to stop these creatures' rampage. Indeed, Woods says with urgency. They are important resources, so please stop them without any bloodshed. David crosses his arms. It was originally a request for me since I can also use word magic, but this one's a bit difficult. It's looking like we'll need a lot of different job holders. Rue immediately volunteers. Are you okay with me tagging along, David? Rin and Fila might come too. David grins, of course, you're definitely welcome. With Eisen-san we'll have the strength of 100 people. Eisen thinks for a moment. Let me see, I was thinking about trying out some kind of request here sooner or later anyway. All right. Since you brought it up, I'll accept it. Woods is overjoyed, shaking his hand firmly. Thank you so much, that helps us out a lot. Of course, you'll be properly rewarded. So should we get started right away? Eisen asks. Woods agrees, yes, I'll give you the map now and you can get the rest of the details from the workers at the ranch. Can I ask Rin and the others first if they're joining? Eisen asks. David nods, sure, I'll be waiting at reception after making preparations. As they head out the door, David adds, I'll gather the other members there, so let me introduce them when you get back. Woods and Rue watch the door close behind them. Woods lets out a relieved laugh. What a nice guy for accepting such a sudden request. It feels weird how friendly he was, he adds. I'm astonished at the presence of a prophet itself, but... Rue suggests the mayor and many of the 100 heroes are easy to get along with. Maybe it's because of Eisen-san's influence. Perhaps this cheerful town originates from his big-hearted personality. Woods nods in agreement. As Rue offers to prepare some tea, he senses there's more to discuss. Don't you have another request for me? Woods' expression turns serious. Yes, it's a job for a partner company. Rue explains that as a partner company, they prioritize the city's commissions in exchange for privileges. Mentioning that must mean, Rue says, taking a sip of tea, that this will be quite the troublesome matter. They sit down, the atmosphere now more tense. More precisely, Woods corrects, it's a matter that is slightly more dangerous than usual. He begins to lay out the details. At a certain mansion in a residential area on the city outskirts, there lives a researcher. Lately, there's been something strange about him. He has shut himself away since the beginning of the year. Occasionally, he'll invite merchants into his lobby, stock up on resources, then confine himself again. Isn't he just immersed in his research? Rue asks. This is where the problem starts, Woods replies ominously. Woods reveals the researcher's chilling question to the merchants. Hey, are you fellas interested in the power of the evil god? Rue's expression hardens. That is not good. Right, Woods agrees. During the warring periods there were people that yearned for that power. Even now they're an active sect going by the name of the Faiths. He explains that the terrified merchants reported it, but the city's initial investigation was stonewalled. If we proceed with a forceful investigation, he continues, scholarly types are likely to stop coming to our city. And that is why I'm requesting that you and Katadama's door perform an infiltration mission. You'll pose as merchants bringing food to get inside and investigate. If we're looking at merchants in this city with that skill, you're our only option, Rue-sama, Woods states. You will be able to find objects with strong magical power using your magic eyes of discernment. The magic eyes of discernment is a skill that allows the user to see a faint aura on objects with magic levels above a certain threshold. It's a useful skill for distinguishing powerful equipment or detecting magical traps. Rue admits the skill has its weaknesses, it's draining and can't detect low-level magic, which is how the bandits tricked him before. But Woods reassures him, it's useful in cases like this one where we know where to investigate, I suppose. Moreover, you must be getting used to this kind of work, Woods says, pressing the issue. I'll make sure to reward you accordingly, so will you accept my request? Rue stands up, a determined look on his face. There is no harm in clearing up some evil god-related business. He sighs, a weary but resolute expression on his face. I certainly am getting used to it since it's like this every time. I understand, I will accept. Rin is ecstatic about their new job. You received a commission, I'll definitely go. But Fila, her self-proclaimed master, throws an arm around her declaring, I might have just joined yesterday but I sure won't let you go without me. Back at the inn the trio regroups. Eizen, taking the lead, makes the call. Yeah, then let's return to the Kodadama's door. The headquarters is buzzing with activity, a room full of armed men getting ready for a job. David claps his hands, cutting through the noise. Everyone, attention please. As the men quiet down, David gestures to Eizen's party. These are the people I told you about, the ones who can help us. The crowd murmurs, sizing up the newcomers. Suddenly, a wave of recognition ripples through the room as all eyes land on Fila. Could she be Fila-sama from the 100 Heroes? One man whispers in awe. Another chimes in, yeah, the hero of Gakusei is joining us. The hype builds as they recall her abilities. Her concert magic, it increases your abilities and energy. The initial skepticism melts away into excitement. I've heard she's great, says one. I'm actually thankful, adds another. Aizen watches with a proud smile. The 100 Heroes are well respected for sure. It makes me happy even if it's about my students. But then the crowd's attention shifts. But are the other two okay? They eye Aizen up and down. This job is physically taxing, isn't he too skinny? One mutters. Another counters, the boss brought him here, he can't be that weak. David, looking stressed, has heard enough. He slams his fist into his palm. Oh yeah, just a side note, he announces, his voice sharp. These people have my endorsement and they're so skilled that it'd be rude to worry about their power. The message is received loud and clear. The men snap to attention. Why yes sir, we understand boss. Then start getting prepared, David commands, and his crew immediately gets to work. Aizen smirks. Seems like you're in control, you must be well liked, David. David laughs it off. Not as much as you, Aizen Dono, teacher of the 100 Heroes. He then apologizes for his men, but Aizen waves it off. Don't worry about it, they were just worried, right? With the chain of command re-established, the men quickly grab supplies from the shelves. One of the workers reports back instantly. Ready and confirmed, sir. David is impressed. Oh, you're so quick, you guys. With a confident grin, David gives the final order. Then we're off. Under the bright afternoon sun, the expedition begins. After an hour of travel, the large group leaves the city behind, approaching a sprawling ranch on the edge of town. Their destination is a peaceful-looking farm, a stark contrast to the urgent mission they're on. As they approach the main gate, a young man in overalls waves them down. Hey, you guys are the members of Kodadama's door, right? Thank you so much for coming today. Aizen steps forward. You work at this ranch, the worker nods. Yes, and you are Aizen-san, correct? I heard from the mayor that you will be helping us. Aizen's attention is drawn past the worker towards a loud, rhythmic stomping. Let's see, is the rampage we have to stop. That. The ground itself seems to tremble under the force of massive hooves pounding the earth. Looking over the fence, they see the source of the chaos. A herd of enormous sheep charging wildly across the pasture. These aren't ordinary livestock. Their fleece and horns gleam with a metallic sheen as they stampede. The light catches on their wool, revealing it to be as hard as steel. With terrifying force, one of the creatures smashes through a thick wooden fence like it's made of twigs. Aizen calmly identifies the beasts, metal sheep. The rancher looks relieved. Exactly, so you know about them. They're magical beasts that harden their fur and horns into metal once agitated, the worker explains frantically. The wooden fences are getting destroyed. It's only a matter of time until the main metal fence is destroyed. They're usually very gentle, he adds, his voice filled with worry. But for some reason they've become agitated and I can't handle it. He points towards a sturdy-looking stable. The fences near that stable have destruction-resistant magic on them. Either we push them inside and wait for them to calm down, or... Aizen finishes his thought. Or you're saying we use Kodadama to calm them down from the start, the rancher nods. That is correct, Aizen-san. David crosses his arms, assessing the situation. Certainly, we can calm them down to some extent using Kodadama. How many metal sheep are there in total? The rancher clutches his chest in distress. There are 100 of them, they are all still our cute sheep. Could you please suppress their agitation before it gets too late? David gives a reassuring thumbs up. Okay, I got it, I'll give it a shot right away. With a loud creak, the heavy metal gate to the pasture swings open. As the team enters, David turns to Aizen. Aizen Dono, could you observe the effects for a moment? Aizen agrees. Yeah, sure. The metal sheep continue their frantic rampage across the field. David walks out onto the field alone, facing the stampede. He closes his eyes and takes a deep, steadying breath. Okay, here we go. He channels his magic, an aura flaring to life around him as he unleashes his power in a single command. Calm down. A visible wave of magical energy erupts from David, washing over the rampaging sheep. The effect is underwhelming. One of the sheep slows its charge, but it's far from pacified. It merely wobbles on its feet, still agitated. David turns to Aizen confused. Not very effective, right? Aizen looks on thoughtfully. Indeed, with that much magic in your Kodama it should be able to stop them completely. David scratches his chin. I know, right? Are they agitated too much? But he quickly forms a new plan. Well, if they're this slow, we won't have to worry about getting hurt. Let's push them into the stables while we can. He turns to his crew and barks out orders. Okay, you guys, we'll bring the sheep up to the stables in teams of 3. His men respond with a unified yeah. Without hesitation, the Kodama's door members charge into the field to begin herding the dazed animals. Aizen turns to his own team. All right then, let's go too. Fila clenches her fist, beaming with excitement. Yes, master, this is my first job after joining. I'll try my best. Rin looks to Aizen for confirmation. I will too. Like you said on the road, I'll team up with Fila-san and Sensei will work on his own, right? Yeah, Aizen confirms with a nod. Fila gives Rin a confident smile. Fu, leave it to me. I'll support you with all my might, Rin-chan. Rin blushes slightly. Thank you so much. As Fila and Rin move out, Aizen heads in a different direction. I'm going to speak a few words to the sheep over there. Fila calls back. Still watch us work from over there, master. The low rumble of thundering hooves fills the air as Rin breaks off from the group. She finds herself standing directly in the path of a charging metal sheep. She holds her ground, her mind racing. I must not kill them, she resolves. It seemed like even a magician's hypnotic magic didn't affect their agitated state. Then this will do. Instead of retreating, Rin dashes straight towards the beast. In a blur of motion, she closes the distance, matching the sheep's speed. She draws her sword and with perfect precision, strikes the creature with the flat of her blade. The metal sheep lets out a weak bleat, its eyes glazing over. It stumbles forward, wobbling unsteadily for a moment, before collapsing into a heap on the grass. Rin sheathes her blade, catching her breath. It was a little bit rough, but impact sleep. The once rampaging beast is now completely docile, fast asleep. Fila jogs over, her eyes wide with admiration. Whoa, you're amazing, making them sleep with your sword. Fila takes a deep breath, a determined look on her face. With a flourish, she summons a violin and a conductor's baton from thin air. Now it's my turn to show you what I can do. Rin can only stare, dumbfounded. Where did that come from? David approaches the group, a wide grin on his face. Ooh, you already caught one, he says, impressed. As expected of you, Miss Rin. Rin thanks him, then asks, how is it going for you? David looks out over the chaotic field where his men are struggling against the rampaging metal sheep. Well, he trails off. His soldiers are getting overwhelmed. One man strains against a thrashing sheep, yelling, this one, Kodama isn't working properly on this one. Another group gives chase as a sheep breaks free. Chase it, if it gains too much distance it will charge again. David sighs, explaining the situation. As you see, we are pressing them down, but it will take time to weaken them. I even brought some physically strong Kodama users, mages and melee guys. But Fila steps forward, brandishing a violin. I'll help them with my concert magic, she declares. Listening to my music will certainly increase their strength. David is overjoyed. Is that all right, Lady Germ? Thank you for that. Rin looks at the instrument, confused. Say, just from where did you get that instrument? Fila just smiles mysteriously. Foo, I'll speak about that later. For now, let's make performing the priority, okay? She prepares to play, thinking to herself, as the lyrics could get in the way of the Kodama chants, it will only be music. Fila stands in the center of the field, and as she draws her bow, a powerful wave of magic erupts from her. The first notes ring out, pure and powerful. She closes her eyes, lost in the performance as ethereal light and musical notes swirl around her. The magical energy washes over David's men, enveloping them in a strengthening aura. Even Rin is captivated by the performance. What a beautiful melody, this kind of makes me feel warm, she thinks. The soldiers look up, stunned by the sudden surge of power. I feel stronger, one of them shouts with newfound confidence. I'll definitely make it with this. With a collective roar they rally. We can catch it, yeah, let's stop it. Watching from the sideline, Fila sees the tide has turned. Her magic worked and the men are successfully subduing the sheep. David turns to her full of gratitude. As expected of one of the 100 heroes, Lady Germ, you really saved us by strengthening my subordinates. Fila smiles warmly. Foo, I'm just happy to see everyone working with a smile. But the celebration is cut short by a sudden scream of pain from across the field. In the distance, a group of soldiers has been completely bowled over by a charging sheep. David grits his teeth. Did they fail to calm it down? Fila realizes the problem. They are out of range of my concert magic. Rin immediately breaks into a sprint. We have to help them. But Fila calmly stops her. Wait, everything's all right, Rin. Rin turns back, confused. All right, then why? A confident smirk spreads across Fila's face as she holds up her hand. Since it's urgent, I'll use that. She aims her arm like a cannon. Start, right arm. With a massive bam, her entire arm shoots off from her shoulder. The disembodied hand soars through the air like a rocket-propelled missile. It homes in on the rampaging sheep, closing the distance in an instant. With a devastating smash, the fist connects, slamming the beast into the ground. The sheep's eyes go wide with shock just before impact. The creature is instantly subdued, bleeding weakly as the soldiers look on in disbelief. The rocket arm flies back and reattaches to Fila's shoulder with a clean asterisk clap. Rin watches, relieved but still processing what she just saw. Looks like he calmed down. She turns to Fila, completely bewildered. "WL, Fila, that arm," Fila casually explains. "Oh my, besides Master, nobody knows about my species." Rin's eyes widen in realization. "An automata? It's my first time seeing one. I've heard they're an extremely rare species." She recalls what she's read. Their origin is a mystery. It's difficult to distinguish them from humans. Their number is low and we don't know much about them. As Fila's feet float off the ground for a moment, Rin finishes her thought. "Long ago, in a book, there was not much more information than that." David just stares, mouth agape. "Whoa." Rin is buzzing with excitement. "Anyway, it's amazing. Not only concert music, but being able to do that too. You're amazing." Fila gets adorably flustered by the praise. "Oh my, I'm happy you're praising me. You're boosting my motivation." Eager to show off more, she launches her other arm. Start, left arm. Her left fist blasts through the air with incredible speed. Another sheep is about to smash through a fence, but Fila's fist is already on its way. It slams into the beast, knocking it down instantly. As the arm flies back, Fila adds, "I can make a lot of other parts fly too, not just my arms." The subdued sheep lies on the ground, completely pacified. The nearby soldiers are speechless. The sheep we could not catch, with just one arm. "Amazing," another says in awe. "That's the 100 heroes for you, and she's an automata." Fila's arm reattaches, as she gestures towards the other side of the field. "I'm happy everyone is praising me, but you know, Sensei is a lot more amazing for not relying on his species' special traits. Look over there." David and Rin turn, and their jaws drop at the sight. There stands Eizen, perfectly calm, surrounded by a massive herd of sheep whose fur has turned pure white. They're completely docile. Eizen gently guides the flock. "Here we go, this way." David rushes over, completely stunned. "Ah, Master Eizen." He stares at the peaceful animals. "Called you say, their fur is white and they're not excited anymore. How did you manage to calm them down?" Eizen gives a simple, almost unbelievable answer. "How you say, I just asked them and they listened." David can't wrap his head around it. "Well, yes, but we can't calm them down like that." Suddenly a frantic shout cuts him off. "Boss." The last of the rampaging metal sheep, led by a massive alpha, are charging directly towards them. "We're sorry, they're coming your way." David panics. "What's with that leading one? It's the biggest I've seen yet, Master Eizen. We have to retreat before it gets dangerous." But Eizen doesn't even flinch. "No need to retreat, I'm going." David can only stammer, Why, Master Eizen?" Eizen glances back. "David, please lead those sheep away so they don't get involved." He turns to face the stampede, his eyes locking onto the charging alpha. A confident smile forms on his face. "You kindly coming this way makes it a lot easier to calm you down." He casually drops his staff into the grass. David watches in horror. He dropped his staff. "Master Eizen, just what are you planning on doing?" Eizen sinks into a low fighting stance, ready to face the herd with his bare hands. "First, let's slow you down, since it's dangerous." With the metal sheep rampaging, Eizen stands his ground, bracing for impact as the massive beast charges head-on. The ground trembles with each stomp, but Eizen remains perfectly still, waiting for the precise moment to strike. As the sheep closes in, Eizen's arm becomes a blur of motion. In a split second, he sidesteps the charge and firmly grabs the beast by its massive, metallic horns. Using the sheep's own momentum against it, Eizen twists his body with incredible force, hoisting the entire creature into the air. With a smirk, he looks up at the airborne beast. "Enjoy the view." The metal sheep, weighing as much as solid iron, is slammed onto its back, shaking the very earth. Watching from a safe distance, David and his men can only stare in utter disbelief. One of the workers stammers, he threw a metal sheep." Another confirms, "He definitely threw it. That thing's as heavy as a pile of iron." The leader of the herd lies on its back, legs kicking uselessly in the air. All it can manage is a weak, confused bleat. David processes the scene, a bead of sweat running down his face. Even though it got knocked over, the sheep doesn't seem injured. Did he parry the charge? Fila walks up beside him, beaming with pride. "Fufu, amazing, right? That is Master's martial art." David lets out a nervous laugh. "Why yeah, I see that now. I heard about it from Rue, but I've never seen any melee fighter perform a move like that." Rin chimes in, speaking to Fila. "Master is the one that taught us everything about fighting, so it's only natural. You were the same too, right, Rin?" David scratches his head, finally understanding. "Haha, so that was self-defense." Rin smiles coyly. "That's right, though there were a lot of other things I wanted him to teach me other than self-defense arts." David watches Aizen, a new level of respect in his eyes. So this is the master of the heroes, huh? Aizen calmly walks toward the now hesitant herd. Well, you're all calm now, surprised that I threw your leader. He pauses and takes a deep breath, gathering his mana. Focusing his energy, he speaks, his voice resonating with power. Everyone relax and stop, listen to me. A massive wave of magical energy erupts from Aizen, washing over the entire field. The powerful command echoes through the air, directly affecting the agitated sheep. Instantly, their metallic, aggressive forms soften. Their fleece turns a soft, gentle white as a calm bleat escapes them. The entire herd is now docile, the workers are stunned. Incredible, he made that many calm down in one go. David is completely awestruck. He approaches Aizen, who is now petting one of the calm sheep. Whoa, Jay, just now what did you do, Master Aizen? Aizen smiles. What you ask, that was word magic just like yours. I only put some mana in my words and speak, that's all. David is floored to think it was word magic, even though it was a long sentence. Are you serious? He thinks to himself, realizing the sheer impossibility of what he just witnessed. Word magic is meant for short words. The longer the sentence, the more mana and control it requires, a feat that would take a normal user 20 minutes for just 2 phrases. David looks at Aizen with reverence. To control such a long sentence, so this is the power of a prophet. Aizen turns to him, the job done. David, with that every sheep in sight has been gathered. David snaps back to reality. Indeed, then I'll inform the stable employee, please. Aizen nods. About why they got excited I will ask them. David remembers Aizen's unique ability. Come to think of it, you can speak with magic beasts, Master Aizen. I'll count on you for that. Meanwhile, on the outskirts of the trade city, another mission is underway. Rue arrives at a large, secluded residence, so this is the target house. He turns to his crew, all disguised as delivery men. Then, is everyone ready? They nod in unison. Of course, Mr. Rue, let's begin. His men grab the crates and baskets of supplies for their cover. Rue thinks to himself, they all look like carriers, but they are soldiers of Deputy Mayor Woods. If we find anything in this undercover investigation, we will immediately restrict the researcher's social position, and if a fight breaks out, they will defend me. The group confidently walks up to the front door of the residence. Rue raises his hand and knocks in a specific pattern he was told was the signal. 4 quick knocks, followed by 3 more. He puts on a friendly smile and calls out, Greetings, I am from the Meal Dealer Company. We came to deliver your order. They wait for a response. The door slowly creaks open, revealing a man with wild, unkempt hair and a paranoid look in his eyes. He peers at them suspiciously. Rue recognizes him from the description. He looks exactly as I heard, he is definitely the researcher. He maintains his friendly demeanor. Excuse me, is the lord of this house present? The researcher eyes them warily. Yes, but you are not the usual one. What happened to that merchant? Rue has his story prepared. His health deteriorated and he is absent due to sickness. Since today's delivery could absolutely not be missed, I took his place. I have a letter of apology and a letter of recommendation. Please take a look. He hands the letters to the researcher. The man scans the documents. HMPH, this is indeed his writing, and the recommendation is from the company. He pauses for a long moment, considering his options. Finally he relents. Understood, you can enter. Rue beams, thank you very much. Rue turns to his men. Then everyone, please bring it in. They are led into a cluttered room filled with books. The researcher points. Put the goods here, and leave as soon as you're finished. As Rue agrees, the researcher quickly exits the room, locking the door behind him with a distinct clack. Rue's smile fades. It's different from what I've heard. Usually, deliveries are left at the main entrance. Why did he bring us inside? He glances around. However, every window I could see was boarded up. He is definitely cautious about something. I can't say for certain yet. One of his soldiers whispers, Master Rue. Rue nods. I know, now that nobody is observing us. He pushes up his glasses, and a strange power awakens in his eye. He activates his special ability, the magic eyes of discernment. His vision shifts, allowing him to see the flow of magic in the room. His gaze sweeps across the messy study and locks onto a faint magical aura emanating from a section of the bookshelf. Wah, looks like there is a hidden door here. With what I feel, it may be a type that opens if the right amount of mana is supplied. One of the soldiers asks, can you open it? We don't mind if you put the responsibility on us city members. Rue chuckles, haha, of course that's what I intend to do, because if there is nothing, the aftertaste of peeping is bad. He places his hand on the wall, channeling his mana into the hidden mechanism. With a heavy groan, a section of the bookshelf slides open, revealing a dark passage. Ooh, it opened as expected from you, Mr. Rue. Rue replies coolly, I've seen mechanisms like this numerous times. But as the group peers into the darkness, their confident expressions turn to pure shock and horror. Inside the hidden room is a gruesome sight, a pile of massive, gnawed-on bones. and lying on the floor is the bloody, half-eaten carcass of a metal sheep. Rue's face twists in disgust. How do I say this? We ended up finding something we didn't want to see. The culprit is revealed, a monstrous, savage wolf with glowing red eyes tearing into the sheep's remains. They found the reason for the stampede.